Fair Villa Megastore, your one-stop shop for all of your sexual awareness. Well, you wear the sexual... No, hold on. What am I trying to say?
There's costumes. There's...
Sexual wellness. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Sexual wellness.
That you can wear. Wearable sexual awareness, like lingerie and oils.
There are, like, mild things. You know, there are things that are way above.
There are shockingly crazy things.
Yeah. So it's a spectrum of
you could
a lot of stuff.
You could literally go to Fair Villa and get lollipops and teddy bears, or you could walk out of there with the GD Destroyer. It's up to you. It's a choose-your-own adventure of sexual wellness right there at the multiple locations of Fair Villa. But the big one, the Megastore right there on OBT.
Yeah.
It's the nicest. You'll walk into it, and it is the Ron John of dildos.
Can
I say that?
I don't know if they want that, but yeah.
It looks like Ron John.
That's an accurate description.
Yeah, it's very accurate.
Well, we talked to the owner, and he said, I designed this whole building based on Ron John.
Based on Ron John.
It is true.
This is a special Ron. Go to the John.
They've got a new location in Sanford, right off Reinhardt Road. So if you live anywhere near Sanford and you want to check out Fair Villa's brand new location, all the locations are on fairvilla.com.
And all of them are a little bit different. Like, all of them carry a little bit different stuff. Now, I will tell you, the Megastore, they basically have
everything.
Yeah, that's like going to Costco.
Yeah.
The other stores, though, depending on where they're at, they might be a little more lingerie, maybe a little more. Well, we have more.
The one in Secret's Hideaway, I feel like that's maybe more aggressive.
You have some ski rope in there. Yeah, got some stuff.
But then you've got one on iDrive, where there's a lot more costume. And then
Key West is going to have a lot of costumes because of the party atmosphere of the town.
Yeah, there's one on the coast.
Yep, one on the coast.
If you want to check out the Fair Villa on the coast, like I said, fairvilla.com. They also have Fair Villa University. They do online educational courses.
Yeah, sign up for it on YouTube. Yeah, just search Fair Villa University on there, and sign up for us too, Tom and Dan Live on there while you're there.
Fairvilla.com. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Again, Science on Tap is coming up this weekend, January 21st. Get your tickets at tomanddan.com.
And that really is like the only beer fest I know of that is in conjunction with a learning facility. Like, that is really a unique... Like, we do a weird beer fest because we do it free. They're doing a weird beer fest in that you can actually go and the money that you pay goes to help prop them up. Tiffany was over at the Science Center yesterday. Do you see that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she took her daughter and she took her son. I tell you, if you got a newborn and you need to catch your breath, Science Center. That's all I got to tell you. Science Center. Because Maisie, Tiffany was like, I brought Pepper over there. That's her daughter. What a great name. And she was like, oh my God, I needed just a day out with the kids, just some like mommy time away from this bar so I can relax a little bit. It's a great spot. Go check it out. OCS.org.
How stressful is a bar when you need a day out to relax with your kids?
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? With your young kids.
Your phone's always going to ring, right? Because something's missing. Something's out of the... we don't have meat, we don't have cheese, we don't have vodka, we don't have...
But you need a vacation from taking care of your young... I'm talking like toddler, pre-toddler babies.
It's hard.
That's a full-time job. And when you need a vacation from your work, and that's your vacation, taking care of you, like, that's difficult.
Because Tiff is a mom owning a bar, you owe it to her just to go there and drink a beer just because of that reason, and that reason only.
And then Sofa and Suds is January 22nd on Sunday at 2 p.m. Me and Daniel host the races. Angel's going to be out there DJing and helping us with the music.
It's been too long. I like them butted up against the beer fest, which oddly enough we are doing because Science on Tap is the day before.
Get your Sofas and Suds t-shirts and merch there so that you don't have to pay for the shipping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Eric will
always
be out
cheaper
there.
at the events. Wink, wink.
It saves us some money too.
He's going to have all merch out there. So if you want any of our merch, you can go to Sofa and Suds. It's downtown Sanford in front of the West End. Also, VIP tickets for that event still available on their Facebook page.
There you go. Okay, I'll give you guys the choice. Would you both rather do rando voicemails that have not been labeled that I have not heard? That's a little dangerous. Okay. Or would you rather go into the ACT mailbag?
Let's do some randos.
Okay, let's do randos.
Randomizer.
Yeah, well, these are randos. They have no label. I don't know. This person could literally, it could be Kanye West just screaming about
It's all
Jews.
Pervert Pete.
It could be all Pervert Pete.
Over 2 curses, then we'll pull it and start doing voicemail. Just so Sam doesn't have to be editing.
No, I like that. That's a good rule. All right, it's respectful. Okay, here we go. This is first random voicemail. Oh, hold on. I know what happened.
I was like, I hear it say it's in the ceiling.
Yeah, that's my fault. I put the speaker in the ceiling. We have a very unconventional studio here. Here we go.
Yeah, so I'm listening to an old OG show where you're talking about the R. Kelly's Real Talk and him pioneering the sing talking. I don't know if you've ever heard Jimmy Buffett's God's Own Drunk, but I think it's like a 10.5 minutes sing talk about him going up to watch his buddies still on a mountain, and then he gets drunk with a bear, and he passes out, and he wakes up in the morning, and the bear stole the still and all the moonshine. So R. Kelly did a good job, but God's Own Drunk, now that's some quality sing-talking.
Okay, so God's Own Drunk is the name of the song. It's Jimmy Buffett versus R. Kelly.
Right.
I feel like they're cut from the same cloth, right? It's the same man. Have we ever seen Jimmy Buffett anywhere near R. Kelly? No. Have we ever seen him in the same room? Same guy. Look exactly the same. Perform exactly the same.
Can you look it up? I want to hear
They have the same taste in women.
Oh, man. I'm looking at these lyrics.
All right, I'm going to Spotify to look for it. It's called God's Own Drunk.
Yes.
So it's about him going up into the mountains and making moonshine. Then he passes out, and then the bear steals his moonshine operation.
It is not 10 minutes. It is, the song before God's Own Drunk is called The Ballad of Spider John. Wonder what the hell that's
Jesus
about.
Christ.
The one before that's just called Saxophones.
Let me hear this.
Jimmy Buffett's a wild man. He just writes crazy.
70s Buffett.
The last 3 songs on this album, Living and Dying in 3/4 Time, are Saxophone, The Ballad of Spider John, and God's Own Drunk. This guy's on the weed. Oh, it's too slow, my
Tickling
God.
the ivories.
This sounds like Bubba's in the studio again. It's like, oh, God, he's here. Hurry it up. We live in a TikTok world. This song's too slow for me.
Yeah. Scroll.
Like I explained to y'all before, I ain't no drinking man.
Oh, no, I have no time for this.
Hold on.
Sorry. Your backwoods ways are far too slow for me. I am a TikTok boy. This is far too slow for me.
Now I think about, like, when R. Kelly was doing the Trapped in the Closet, was there any rhyme scheme to it?
Sometimes.
Yeah, but I would like to also correct this gentleman in saying that Jimmy Buffett is just talking. He's not really sing-talking. R. Kelly was sing-talking. Where he's like, I'm in the closet, and he's got the gun, and then he's gay, and then it's a little person, and then we're banging.
Well, that was the end.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he was singing. Jimmy Buffett, listen.
I tried it once and it got me highly irregular, and I swore I'd never do it again.
Now he's talking about getting constipated because he drank too much moonshine. This guy's a wild old man.
I tried it once. It made me constipated.
Highly irregular. So an old nerd dad thing to say. Also, this is what Jeff Howell used to do with like Alice's Restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I only listen to Jeff Howell talk.
Yeah, just a little more. I feel like Tom's really digging this. Secretly, I feel like you're liking this.
I feel bad saying it, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
you can't take
I
it
remember
anymore.
when Jeff would do that, I'd be, people like this? They listen to that?
I don't think they do.
I was like, I felt like, is the House of Blues aware?
Who like that?
Who like that?
But I promised my brother-in-law that I'd go up and watch his still while he went into town to vote.
Oh, it's a political song now.
You know who he's voting for.
You know who he's voting for. Why boo? Yeah, this is garbage.
Yeah.
Does
anybody?
It's too slow.
Seek this out and I'm going to play this Jimmy Buffett and Mountain Bear.
How
song.
much? If I
stupid.
If I did a test, would it be possible? This is a serious question. Try to answer it seriously. For an amount of money, a prize,
Yeah.
would you be able to sit and listen to the entire version of God's Own Drunk, which is 6 minutes and 21 seconds long, and then I give you a 15-question quiz on your retention of the song? Because I don't think that's possible. I think your mind would wander.
No. I mean, well, if the stakes are high enough, of course.
How high do the stakes have to be?
I mean, this
10,000?
No, I mean that's ridiculous. I would bet I would score.
Now you have to get 100.
100?
You have to get 100.
Okay, well,
that means you have to sit and try to concentrate and listen to everything. That means you have to sit and not daydream. Not think of your boys, not think of the business. It's 6 minutes and 21 seconds.
I mean,
I don't know if that's possible, Sam.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think it's possible.
I'd do it for $100 cash. Yeah,
I would take the test. Do you want to do this? We've never done it. What
it's
I'll
not
do,
that hard. I mean,
will
6 minutes. I'll listen to it.
Yeah, but it's a 15-question quiz. I'll write it out.
Oh.
15 questions on the actual content of what happens in it, the names of people, where they were. You know, if he says, I climbed up a 70-foot hill, I'd be, how tall was the hill? And you'd be like, 65 feet. You know, I'm wrong.
Because the chances of me
and
getting
if you
100...
lose, you have to get a tattoo on your foot. That says
Okay.
property of Christmas.
Okay, well, no, I'm not taking that. Because
It's literally just a monologue over some music.
Correct.
I have a short-term memory problem.
Okay.
What?
Caused by goddamn medicine. And
Me too.
Then that causes me to forget.
Sometimes
Everything.
I forget to take my medicine, but the medicine is what's making me forget the medicine.
Sometimes I forget to take the medicine, or I forgot I took the medicine and take it twice.
Oh,
man.
Then I'm riding the lightning.
That's bad.
And I can't tell anybody because, they yell at me.
Let's do another rando message. These are working out pretty good. This is another sight unseen voicemail message right cheer.
Yo, what's going on, dudes and chick? It's Big Rick. Getting out of work from the new watering hole Ailstone Brewery.
Nice.
So come check us out. I'm always working Monday or Sunday through Thursday. Anyway, listening to you guys talk to Eric Pabone on my way home from work, and hearing you discuss about how people are gifted certain opportunities to like draw specific art pieces or specific characters. And
intellectual
locally,
property.
There's a dude by the name of Hydro74. Guy is freaking badass, man. Super technical, super creative, super awesome. Does a lot of really badass stuff around town. And you wouldn't even realize that he does it until you look at his artwork. Then you realize, oh shoot, I just bought that shirt like 2 weeks ago. You know, but definitely check him out. Hydro74.
I know exactly what he's talking about, and yeah,
He's just a local artist.
I think he's local, but I think he's so good at what he does that he's actually had some album covers and stuff. And it's one of those things where you would just never know. Like
Okay.
it'd be like it could be a massive, it's a massive piece of art, but you know, he's an artist, and it's not like. He's not like a celebrity artist, if you know what I mean by that. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like he's not Banksy. He's not looking for fame.
No.
He's not in the headlines. But, like, what are some of
He
his...
has worked with a lot of big,
big.
Hasbro, Mattel,
Yeah.
Lucasfilms, Lionsgate, Disney,
I know exactly.
Warner Brothers.
I follow him on Instagram.
Def Jam.
Yeah. It's like the biggest
Miller
of the
High
big.
Life, Dos Equis, like
Yeah.
almost any kind of
Yeah.
branding.
It's like the biggest of the big,
Xbox.
but it's one of those things where you would
Oh, that's
never
good.
know. You would never know it because it's not like he does it to be like, hey, I'm the guy. It's just like he does it, which I have a lot of respect for. Those people.
Well, working with those gigantic brands means that he's doing something right. And
Oh, yeah.
He's got...
Publix.
Yeah. I mean, he must have,
Impressive.
within the corporate world, like figured out a way to get in with all those different brands.
And it's pretty technical
maybe-
art, right? Like it's very.
I wonder if
some of it's very aggressive.
You know how in movies, if you get one movie star to do your movie, it's easier
You
to
can
get
get
the
two.
other.
If you get two, you can get four.
Well, it's like if you got Brad Pitt, you use Brad Pitt to tell the other stars, like, hey, Brad Pitt's going to
Right.
do it. And they're like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? They leverage the one star. Do you think, like, artists and other people, they must do this with companies? Like, hey, Publix is working with me. And then they're like, oh,
Oh, 100%. They look at the portfolio for sure.
Yeah. And then, so once you get one giant brand, then the other brands are quick to hop
You got to
aboard,
do like
right?
that one guy in New York where you just fake your entire resume.
This is why I knew.
I like that.
This is why I knew Hydro.
You got away with it.
This is why I knew Hydro 74. Back when you and I were building this company, we were in need of, we'd always need like type fonts, different fonts for different things and flyers and doing stuff like this because we were doing a lot of it on our own without even the help of even a Tony or like any graphic design artist like the Danger Brain or anything like that. Hydro 74 does a lot of typeface. Like he makes a lot of original typeface where he goes in and he makes letters A through Z, even punctuation, and he handcrafts them. And that is cool. It's really neat that you are able to take not only you're stylizing the language. I don't know. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
It's powerful, man. Like when I look at these images and the fact that he's taking tried and true, lettering that's been used by everybody for hundreds of years and making it original again. That is, I don't know. That's just an odd. That we should try and talk to this guy. That is a weird job.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show you people's brains work differently, and my brain would never even it can't. It's not capable of understanding like what brand or what. Like what he's doing, taking a brand, like what Danger Brain does or whatever, and then realizing...
He does a lot of speaking engagements, too. This guy's awesome.
How to rebrand a company or take their brand and make it look cooler. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea where to even start. My brain doesn't even get close to even... being able to imagine a new concept of someone's brand that is like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Or this is it. Like, I don't know what makes this better. It's almost like it doesn't, there's no value. I understand the brand value, but I can't make something more valuable or cooler because I don't know what's cooler than the other thing. I can't tell you. Now I know when I see it, but I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't make someone's brand cooler.
You can see it, you just can't articulate it to make somebody else execute it.
I couldn't ever in a million years change someone's brand and make it look cooler because I don't know.
Well, your number one thing whenever we have a client and you meet them and you think that you could help them, you always tell them, "Well, why don't you start wearing a fedora?" And I tell you to stop doing that, but you've told just about every client we have to start wearing fedoras. It only worked for Tomasino's Pizza. They actually wear fedoras when they deliver your pizza.
All right, let's go to
off-putting.
Should we do email?
We have one more.
Okay,
here's the last one.
One more
rando.
Mediocre cartoons on YouTube are funnier than the vast majority of adult cartoons coming out today.
No,
that's a nice compliment. Wow. I don't believe that, but there's a lot of good cartoons that are coming out right now. Although I saw
the old Rick and Morty guys.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trouble.
Yeah, dude. One half of the duo that wrote Dan Harmon and what's the other guy's name?
I don't even remember.
The other guy from Rick and Morty. Apparently, he got popped in 2020
Justin
or something.
Roiland?
Justin Roiland. Yeah, for smacking his girlfriend around or something. A lot of girlfriend smacking going on.
Cut it out.
Yeah, y'all got to stop hitting each other, girls and guys. What are you doing? If you're married or if you're in a relationship with somebody, don't start slapping them around. It's pretty easy.
I did...
Dana White, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, speaking of Dana White, I did... And there's nothing funny about this situation, but...
The video's pretty funny.
What's funny to me...
Because it looked like so natural.
Is... and Sam, you can look this up, is that he just so happened to be, and they pushed it back a week, but I guess they couldn't push it back anymore, is promoting some new thing. I heard this on
It's a slap organization.
It's called Slap.
Yeah.
You didn't know about this?
I didn't know.
Dude, he's been putting so much time and effort into this.
You
and
haven't
the
seen
irony,
the videos?
No.
Oh, they're so brutal.
They are, dude.
It makes me angry. Like,
I can't
what
watch
is
it.
No, I can't. Well, that one, you probably saw the one I saw.
With the girl?
Where the two girls are going, but the one girl that keeps getting blasted. Like that one. Oh,
where they stand there and slap each other in the face.
Yeah. And then the one girl, she just keeps, it knocked
I can't watch it.
It knocked
I
the
can't watch
piece out of
Dude,
her
I
mouth.
watch UFC and watch people get pummeled, and I don't know why. I don't like watching people stand there and take a smack.
You're taking an undefended blow to the brain.
Right.
Why would you do that?
But it looks like that's a for sure concussion each time. Like the people,
It's shaking your brain up.
they get knocked out and then they hold up. They stand. They hold them up.
They
and then
wear
it comes out of
earplugs. They wear earplugs, and they get hit on the side of the head. They have to, what do you, lose your hearing?
Yeah.
it's
Anyway,
the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
It is dumb, and it's hard to watch.
He should have said he was just training for that or something. He should have made a joke.
I also don't like watching, but how funny is it that he started promoting it
He
right
should have
after
said it was promotion. Me and my
You're
wife are
really
big
late
fans.
to this game, Tom. Everybody's been making that joke since the video came out of him slapping his wife.
Well, when we already talked about it, I didn't know. We didn't bring it up when we talked
The
about it
chat
on the
did.
show.
They
okay,
were
well.
running rampant with comments.
Yeah, we should have. Because I had no idea he
They're
was.
like, he's probably going to lay low on that whole slap competition for a
No,
while. He did
though.
not, though.
I mean, I don't think they did
He's
that.
doubling down.
I mean, all the videos were still released all over social media. I was watching them, but I will not be tuning in for that.
No.
I do like that there's one feature I do like is that the girls wear tiny skirts. And I feel like we need more tiny skirts, men and women, in sports.
It does go to show you that back to our original Nothing Matters, and I hate it, but I also believe in it.
Okay.
So it like Dana White essentially, even though he doesn't own the UFC anymore because he sold it off to the whatever that was it Omni or what's that whatever that corporation
is,
that
yeah.
so they could. Essentially, I guess he works there.
Endeavor.
So I guess they could issue a punishment or suspension or some sort of, I'm saying, for him. But it seems like
He's still the president.
it seems like that they're all on the same page, and he's got about as much, say as is he, even though it's not his company.
Right.
Anyway,
right.
It's as close to as he owns his own thing as anything.
Yeah.
And when you do
Very
that,
Jeff Bezos, Amazon.
Yeah,
They pretty much still run it.
yeah, they're not going to punish him, right?
No.
No.
And if you don't punish him, you can just be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I punished myself." Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And then
The key
and then
is
everybody's
to-
like, "Wait a minute."
No, the key is to stick to your story, keep your head down, and not let anyone else screaming for your head to take hold. You have to have your team tight, and you got to be like, "I apologize, we're moving forward," and you got to stick with it.
And it does go to show you that really the audience and the vast majority of the people, like, they're just moving on. They're like, you don't think people
We don't have time.
and
I don't
nothing
think
matters.
a lot of people were surprised either.
Yeah, no one's. Yeah,
No.
so
he's the president of a fighting organization, so he slapped his wife around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But their brand and what they want to portray as far as
But nobody believes it. It's just like the
So nothing
NFL.
matters.
Just like the NFL.
Yeah.
No, if the NFL, anybody would be fired in 2 seconds.
No,
if
I
this
mean,
is the
like,
NFL.
nobody believes that they are. I mean, they
Yeah,
do
yeah.
That
things.
everybody's on the up and up.
They react.
Oh,
Sure,
they beat
They'll-
women all day, every day.
They'll fire people. Sure,
Yeah.
they'll cut people, but they don't care.
No.
I believe if this happened in the NFL, nobody's above getting fired, even owners. If an owner,
A guy sexually assaulted 30 plus women, and he's fine.
not on video, if it's on video and the NFL,
What about the elevator scenario?
Yeah, the elevator
that
scenario.
guy's out. That guy's
I mean-
never
Didn't
back.
he play, though, again after?
Not after the video.
Yeah, but it also
because it's all about the video.
Yeah, but they were doing their best to not let the video come to light.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my point is, they
but I'm saying,
still don't care. They'll
No.
fire people if they get caught.
Well, it's all about
but that
money.
doesn't mean they care.
No, it's all about money. I'm just saying there's a different organization, and the
Well,
video
inevitably. Well, we saw Antonio Brown. Is he playing?
No.
Okay, I was like, we
he's
saw
never
him
gone.
assault a woman in a pool.
He'll never. Yeah,
I
he'll
enjoy-
never
I-
be back.
you know, I like that
Too
video. No, I'm
crazy.
kidding.
And then what? 2 weeks later, he got a domestic violence charge. My
Yeah.
They dropped
God.
that. They dropped
Did
that.
they?
Yeah.
The
I
NFL
was
brand
surprised.
is too powerful, and there's too much sponsor money, and that's why the UFC doesn't have all that really, I guess, family friendly sponsor money.
Yeah, they
You
don't
know,
have Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they Johnson
Monster
and Johnson
Energy.
or
Yeah.
Disney,
I mean, they
or
have some big ones, but yeah, they don't have the big. The
Yeah.
ABCs, the Disneys, the Coca-Colas, the
Yeah.
Kraft cheese.
And it also, you asked the question, like, if this happened in the NFL, like, obviously we know, like, everybody would be fired and all that, but if they didn't, how much of the world would just move on? Probably most people are just like,
I think that we would all be surprised at how quickly everybody would move on if they took. I think even the NFL would be surprised at how quickly the public would move on.
I was surprised about the Watson thing, and like it happened. He started playing again, and it's like, is it?
Yeah.
And,
nobody said a word.
And
they booed him one time, and everything. He's not doing anything. Maybe that's why.
We have very short memories.
I mean, you would have wanted a different scenario. Had he come out and then just started flipping passes like Jesus, it would have been a different. But he's not. And so it's just riding low.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing that can happen for him.
And
in my opinion,
there is an element of most human beings, have a lot of S going on in their lives, and then have tough lives, right? And have a lot of heartbreak and a lot of downturns and a lot of stress,
children, relationships,
all this nonsense, and then that
family
that they're distracted by that, and then all this stuff is supposed to be a distraction entertainment, and they don't want to see it. But how often are they going to really stand up against it?
Yeah, like I don't.
They're just going to be like, well, whatever.
And I know this sounds.
I hate it, but whatever.
This sounds crappy, but I don't have time to give the amount of empathy and love and the amount of. I don't even know how you want to categorize it. I don't have enough time to apply that to everything in my life right now and around me that's adjacent to me that's going wrong or is sad. I don't have enough time to do that.
Most people don't have enough time to fix their own lives.
Like my cousins right now. My third cousin.
How do you fix something else that has nothing to do with you? You're just like, my life, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would love to feel bad for Dana White's situation and or his wife or whatever that is, but my cousins have COVID and I'm worried about them and they're in the hospital. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's got 1,000 little things that are going on that are bigger than that. So, but
that affect our personal lives, right?
Weird. We got to take a little break.
We got to get out of here.
Oh, is it the end?
Yep.
It is.
All right. Slap me, Tom.
See you tomorrow. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Deborah from Fairville Megastore here. How you doing, Deborah?
I'm great. Good to be back.
Good to see you. Happy New Year's.
Thank you. Same to you.
Oh, you're not supposed to say New Year's. Happy New Year's.
New Year.
You're supposed to say Happy New Year.
Oh, okay.
I just showed how ignorant and stupid I am. I got corrected by an old lady at Publix. I was like, Happy New Year's. She's like, it's New Year, dear.
What a
I know. I'm just starting it off.
Just take it.
Might be your last year, old lady.
I'm about to start my new year off by killing some geriatric at the Publix.
So speaking of that, Valentine's Day is coming up.
I know,
which is crazy that we're already rocketing.
Where you really excel. Like when I think of one holiday where you can't wait for it. I can't wait 1 minute more. You're crazy about it. You love it. You've already been in preparation. Even before Christmas, you were in preparation of your favorite holiday, which is Valentine's Day.
You know what's sad is that if you ask my wife, and I've been with her for 20 years more. I mean, it's.
I thought you were going to say a decade, and I was going to correct you.
Oh my God, it's been more than 20 years. It's been like 24 years.
Oh, it's legal to drink.
Oh my God, you can rent a car now.
Our 15-year wedding anniversary is coming up this. You
got to go big.
All right,
you got to go big. I say double.
Oh, come on. Why would you say that?
I don't know. It's the only thing that came into my head.
Say that? I don't even
know what that is.
Also, I don't know what the double part is.
I don't either.
I do. I've seen Requiem for a Dream. Have you guys not seen it?
Write that down. Write that down.
Hold on.
I think that we just planned the best Valentine's night of your life.
Little known fact, that is like a huge thing for Valentine's Day is the butt. Just saying.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Wow. Deborah, you blew Diet Coke into my nose. I didn't know that. I didn't know I was on brand.
Yes. People come into the stores, and let me tell you.
Special occasion.
The booty products, they tend to.
So Valentine's Day is, we'll be careful. We'll say it just like this. We'll say Valentine's Day is booty time.
Booty time.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought I was making a joke. And Deborah's like, actually, sir, correction, you are accurate.
I'm like the woman out at Publix correcting
you're correct. Everywhere I go, I got a woman corrected me.
It's actually people like the butt on Valentine's Day, dearie.
Let's move on. So what, Deborah? I noticed you have a bunch of items here.
I do. Like, I'm surprised when I walk through the stores lately. It's like, what? We got this whole like new line of lingerie, and we have some really amazing new hosiery that's specific to Valentine's Day. Memoir.
Oh, I'd love to hear you say
that. Do I need to say?
Wait, you had a memoir.
Not a memoir.
A memoir?
Tom had a memoir.
Maybach. Yeah. That's my wife and daughter's favorite restaurant.
It not only are these really cool looking, but they're so giftable because they come in a beautiful package. They're high quality hosiery. They're under $30 and they are sized. So there's 2 different sizes and just like really spectacular. I was quite surprised. And there are more styles. I just brought 2 that are thigh highs, but they have some full hosiery and they all have hearts or something special about them, white and black or black and red, that just make them super for the holiday.
Are these also like the way that they look? Are they like ultra fancy?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
they look like good quality French.
Well,
you know,
and the packaging
apparel.
is like sort of like Apple Store, you know,
chic.
Sweet. Yeah. It's got like the raised lettering. And that's another thing too, that sometimes just on appearances, if you're buying something for your wife or my wife, who, and we've talked about this before on the show, who is a little reserved, a little nerdy, a little more academic, and a little less, free in the bedroom, the quality of the products is definitely going to matter. You can't just hand her something that looks basic. Yeah. You have to hand her something that looks high quality, top tier, and most of your products.
You really put so much thought into it, and they look like they cost more than they do.
Right.
And it is good quality. So, we're glad to bring in some new things to the stores.
Again, why you always say, Tom, we've talked about this, about the people that have sent us emails about buying some of this stuff on Amazon. You can get some pretty poor stuff. Yeah. So you want it to be vetted, and you want it to be, quality.
Yeah. You get the Baba hosiery.
Alibaba hosiery.
Let me ask you something about hosiery, because I may know more about astrophysics than I do about hosiery. Because I have no idea about anything hosiery. Can you wear...
It's $1 billion industry, man.
Hose more than once?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you wash them?
Yes. Like hand wash them, put them in a lingerie bag, and throw them into a delicate cycle.
Aren't you glad?
Just hang them up. Don't put them in the
Aren't you glad we're not fancy boys or women? Because, having to remember to wash my hose every night, putting them in a lingerie bag. I'm not built for any of that.
I thought they were like contacts, like disposable.
One and done?
Yeah, one a day hosiery.
There are sometimes we do have products like that are more of a one and done,
In some of the movies, they get ripped off a lot. You're going to be wearing those again.
Well, we talk about that a lot with the, with the body stockings. You could rip it off if you wanted to and not, and one and done.
So, and then, because it makes sense, like when you put the hose on, it stretch out. And then when you take it off...
it goes back. It doesn't just stay
out. Back. Okay, it goes back.
Yeah, it's got some elasticity to it. The thing that's off-putting to me with hosiery... the thing that I don't like about hosiery is I don't like the little patch in the crotch. The little...
Oh, the darker?
It's usually lighter. They sew in like a little white, like a baby diaper or something.
Not all of them.
No, not all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of them, they just cut it out. Some of them, they're like, let's cut it out. Let's reinforce the center of it. And it's go time. We have made a glory hole.
Well, listen, there's something to be said for the crotchless hosiery.
Crotchless hose is a glory hole.
It's easier to use the ladies' room without shedding everything you got on.
How do you think about that? Then am I allowed to... it's not fair when you do it. It's not fair when you do it. All right, so am I allowed to walk around with my zipper down?
No, come on. That's under... Okay, what's the next thing?
You're all right, buddy.
We're doing a lot of keep moving on here.
Go!
It's on brand. It's on brand.
Go! Faster!
Next! Since we are speaking of lingerie, hosiery, I did bring you a body stocking because we talk about this every time.
Body stockings. stockings.
This one, these are very specific to Valentine's Day because they got little hearts on them. This is a red body stocking by Dream Girl. It has the actual, the hose are attached to the stocking.
Okay, it's like it's all together.
One piece, super cool. Again, $30.
Holy moly.
You can reuse it unless you get a little excited and want to rip it off. But it's halter style, which is much more flattering to a lot of different body styles.
Yeah, well, I happen to like my wife's shoulders a lot. That's one of the features I like the most. And she likes this style, you know, because it accentuates her shoulders. And I like me a body stocking.
And I think body stockings are much more forgiving if you're worried about sizing. So, usually they have just 2 sizes. It's super
All
easy.
fish look good in a net. That's what I say.
Oh,
just
look
made
at
that
you.
up. Just
That's
made
good.
that up.
That's good. And here are a couple more from Dream Girl that have hearts. Pink is really in this year. Lots of pink, dark pinks, light pinks, and of course the traditional
Man,
red.
Dream Girl's got these models are curvy and
Yeah, I'm so pleased with the models and the styling that we see now. They're much more realistic. There's not all this touch up.
Right.
So you can kind of really see how it's going
these
to
look like real human beings.
Yeah, yeah. So we have box styles, which is what I brought there, but we also have, maybe if I can get to it, hanging styles. Tons of hanging styles.
Wow, that is.
Yeah, this is by Shirley of Hollywood. Again, it's super red and
that's all
black.
strings in the
red-
back. Oops, all strings.
Yeah.
Oops, all strings. Wow, my voice cracked like a little boy.
Woo.
I'm like,
Yeah.
lingerie.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that. What do you think of that, buddy? You seem a bit speechless and.
Well, I'm
Teddy.
trying to compute it all here.
Okay,
because-
all right. What are you taking in? What do you see?
Okay, what am I?
Give me
okay,
your
all right,
observation.
this is what I see because I'm like this. This all insinuates that
getting too piled
there are
up.
women out there that pre-plan and or get excited and then want to
Make love.
Well, yeah, not only that, but I have found, and like I said, I've
In your travels.
in my travels with my wife, 25 years now,
Yeah.
it blew my socks off.
It's a business at this point.
That there are certain
Like Bill and Hillary.
there are moments in time that I have to take advantage of, and those moments in time are fleeting, right? Like, and then it could crumble at any time, right?
Okay.
And so I
Like
found
Indiana Jones running out of a cave.
throughout my travels that every once and I'll notice, and as time goes by, I've noticed these moments in time, and that's when I have to pounce. And
Well, don't say pounce.
Well, I'm just saying there's
A little aggressive.
There's and if I miss it, then it's gone, not for good, but who knows how
For a
long?
while,
For
yeah.
a while.
Like Haley's Comet.
Exactly.
You got to be standing there.
Yeah,
you got to be standing. Oh, you missed the launch. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Atlas 2's gone.
Get
You
your
missed-
Nikes on. It's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Was that a Hail Bob reference to Haley's Comet? I like
Wow.
that. I like that.
And so some of these things, it makes me confused because this insinuates that there's more than just the small window that I'm used to for other people. That they're like, hey, we've got more than enough time to prepare.
You're making it too weird. Deborah, tell me if this is right or not. It's as simple as, even if you're just me and you don't have a lot of time, you go out to a nice dinner. When you come back, you've taken a little time to lay this out where she is going to bed and you've already showered
Well,
and you
his
smell
kids
good
are
and
in
you
their
look
bed,
good.
so that's going to be awkward.
Okay, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Oh,
Never mind.
that
It's
is-
not going to
No,
work.
they
It's not
come
going to
I
work.
think you
later
just
in
rent a
the
hotel
morning.
room
It's
for
not
a
gonna
couple
work.
hours.
It's like stop
There's
it.
absolutely zero foreplay in the Van household, correct?
Like, stop, you're kicking off mommy's crotchless panties.
It's always just like sporadic randomness and.
Well, like I said, I feel like I have to take because
Well, to finish what I was
do
going to
is
say, you
there's
just
no
lay it
build
out.
up.
She sees it, she puts it on. Like,
no, she's gonna. I know what you want. That's why you put it on the bed.
No,
Yeah, well, no,
no, you've already set the tone. at
oh my
dinner.
God! I thought I heard Crystal came. But
I don't think you've heard that.
and I'll admit that I believe this is my fault. At least this is
You
what
make everything your fault.
This is what I've been told is that she'd be more like if I was more romantic and maybe like you said the dinner the go like the
You don't
the
like dinner.
niceties.
You don't like music. You
Well,
don't
I'm
like
saying
anything.
all this would probably build up to a point
Right.
where the windows wider, but
Yeah, from the windows to the walls.
I've made the window
right?
It's I've made the window so narrow that I was
Yeah.
like kicking a field goal through. Like I only have.
Well, you want them narrow.
I was
Trust
like,
me.
go the play clock, get out there. Anyway, sorry. Next,
You didn't get out of bounds. Oh.
This isn't. I mean, sometimes you do have to do some planning. You know,
Yeah,
got to
I'm
think
bad
outside
about
the box.
No,
You gotta-
man.
Deborah is so nice to you, man.
I know.
I know.
She's
right?
like,
She's trying to help you.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
you just got to do
I'm
some
trying.
planning. You're not that bad. Come here, champ.
I'm going to put my finger over this part. But, we do have some fun apparel for guys, too. Male Power makes some really fun boxers, little briefs.
You like crazy underpants. Get yourself some Male Power.
And you know what? I mean, I know that
Why is your
they're
finger up? Can I
fun
see that?
because it's a little sheer.
Oh,
There you go.
All right.
Peekaboo, Weedy Pouch.
Yes. But you know what? I think that's so fun.
It's got a Peekaboo Weedy Pouch. How
It
much are
does.
these? I'm swinging through. I gotta grab some of these.
and you know what?
Look at that.
I see.
I mean,
I see.
how much of the lingerie for the female form is peekaboo? Let's just do
And
a
all
little
of it
something.
is.
All
And
of
I
it.
love all of it. There's nothing I like. Okay, I'm just going to say it. This is the reason I think people tune into our shows. We
wanna
share,
see
we
Sam?
overshare a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
going to overshare. I like it when
get
girls
things from
have
my
on
husband.
sheer panties and they
Oh,
sit
yeah, it's
down.
completely sheer,
And you
all
can
right.
kind of see stuff, but you
Little
can't
something?
really see stuff. Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Sam's looking at you.
Yeah, well, she's a
Making
grown-ass
mental
woman.
notes. Making mental notes.
Yeah, her, see, old shades would look pretty good in a pair of those.
These are like basically, besides the sheerness, this is like what he wears anyway.
And the sheer ones for you.
These tiny little booty shorts.
I love it.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, we do have a little bit of apparel for for all bodies. And one of the reasons people come to our stores are for our greeting cards. Don't forget, we have a huge selection. I brought tame ones, some tame greeting cards for Valentine's Day, but we have some a little more wild too. So those are sweet.
Your wife would laugh and think it was cool if you got her one of these, and if you wrote if you made the card the icebreaker, and then on the side you wrote something really heartfelt.
Yeah.
Guaranteed it would work. This one's simple. It says card, check. Chocolates, check. Flowers, check. Dinner, check. And then it has a little arrow, and then when you open it up, it says check. It says sex, and then it is not checked, and it says, "Can I check your box and be your Valentine?"
Hey.
You just write something funny in there, man. This one says, I just want you to be happy and," this is the one I like, "naked. Happy Valentine's Day." It's cute.
Do you
is
think
cute.
if you traveled back to the 90s and you told someone, all right, which do you think will last longer? Blockbuster Video or the greeting card industry? Do you think people would say, like, well, Blockbuster Video for sure, because I'm sure as technology
I
progresses-
was pretty all in on e-cards. I was all in on e-cards
but
when
it-
they came out. I was like, this is going to take...
It didn't take over.
I
Greeting
was
cards
so into e-cards.
still remain a thing, and
Absolutely.
people.
I don't think you understand. I was so into Hallmark e-cards that I subscribed monthly to Hallmark e-cards.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
you were in.
Yeah, I got
not
all
the
the
same, though.
specialty ones, and I would just send them an email, and then people would tell me, "Yeah, I went to spam, or I didn't get it," or what, and I was like, "Well, this is dumb. I'm an idiot.
But
I'm an idiot."
It's not the same. A digital greeting card,
not the same.
It just doesn't
No.
have the same impact.
Doesn't hit the same.
And that's why I like to read books too. There's like
Yeah.
physical books.
Yeah.
Like there's just something about
They
it.
both have
I
their
love
place.
it.
I can almost read like periodicals or magazines on like an iPad, but that's about it. I can't do books.
Yeah.
But there's something about, like, you could send someone a digital card with digital money inside in their email, and it's not the same. It doesn't give the gift giver the same satisfaction
Right.
as handing someone envelope with a greeting card and money inside.
Yeah.
And that is weird that it didn't like de-evolve out of that, and
Right.
like that's still a thing. And I feel like that industry will be a thing for the next 50, 100. I mean, when will it? That's the
knows?
psychology of that.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
I think there's something incredibly personal about writing, seeing their handwriting, seeing that little note, those
It's an energy
words.
exchange,
It's
right?
Absolutely. So I'm glad it hasn't gone away, because we just brought in all new greeting cards, just reworked all of our stores selections. So you got to come and check it out. I think it's much better than
in
it
your
has been.
business, though. Too. I mean, you almost have the most personal, or one of the most personal businesses. So I would
Yeah.
imagine that greeting cards would be very important to you guys because of that fact. I mean,
There's no
how do you present this with no note? Like this is an important. I mean, I guess you could,
Well,
but
I think obviously we have a niche that not everyone can follow. Like Target can't have
Right.
some of the cards that we carry, which are
Correct.
a little more raunchy, a little more fun, a little more risque.
That's why you gotta go check 'em out.
That's why we're there. But yeah, so we have that. Also, I brought a really cool candle last time from this company, High on Love. We now have like all of their products in stock. And one of my favorites and the most giftable one is their dark chocolate body paint. So it's in this beautiful glass heart.
oh my God, is that blackface? If I paint my entire wife in that, just don't take photos. You can do it. Just don't take the photo.
Yeah.
Because I love dark chocolate, but just or stay for the neck down.
I think that was the idea, is from the neck down.
I'm sorry, Deborah. Yeah, but let me. You can't put that all. You got to be careful with this one. You just don't want any photos.
This is super high quality.
Wow.
Again, hemp-based products.
It's like opening a bottle of Dom Perignon. Or something. It's so fancy.
It's $36, I think, but it is magnificent.
Gold paintbrush.
Is it dark chocolate in there?
Yes, real dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate body paint. Chocolat noir. Now this is awesome, man. Check that out, dude.
Now, what
if a fancy bottle you'd get at like a very high end liquor store or something?
Exactly.
It's looks like a cognac or something that you would buy.
Well, and that's why I love this company. Everything they do is giftable, and it's amazing quality. I also brought their sensual massage oil.
Have you ever dabbled with the edibles or the painting? Deborah gave me
Again, that would require some sort of preparation and planning instead of the window that I'm talking about.
You used to carry something that we used to carry. It might still be a thing. It was like a dust.
Oh, yeah, honey dust and all that.
Yeah. They used to carry that. I tell you, man, you use things to change your life.
And we still have that. The one thing that I tell the story is that's a lot of people's first foray into toys or adult retail stores is they buy body paints, and the neon body paints and all these things. I always tell people, don't put it on your face.
Yeah.
Because it might not wash off completely in the first go.
Yeah. Be careful with stuff like that. Yeah.
You got to work.
It should be.
Blue Man Group. Get in here.
The quality has changed over the years, so I'm happy to say that doesn't seem to be an issue. But, just remember those
it's come a long
things.
way. It's come a long way.
But I also, from High on Love, they have different bath body oils. They now have a CBD infused because remember, they're hemp-based products, not necessarily CBD, but they now have a CBD-infused massage oil, and you just kind of push down to open up. You got to smell it. It's the aroma is sugar, and it is divine. You walk in the bedroom with that. Not only is it going to be a relaxing massage for you and your partner, but it smells incredible. Put a little on you if you want.
I will do a dab.
Little dab will do you.
Dude, massage your wife with this, you will get anything you want.
That's it.
The chat believes that Tom's window could be bigger if he was more thoughtful.
Yeah, that's what Crystal tells me.
The smell of that.
The answer's right in front of you.
Is really nice.
Well,
that's almost like a really high-end fragrance.
Yes.
But it's very, very light. That's nice.
These people are definitely have roots into not just the adult industry, but also health and beauty.
The beauty,
absolutely, the beauty industry. This is the gift box. That's what it comes in.
This is what it comes in.
Yeah,
nice.
And so it's high quality CBD plus the actual product itself. It's
just like something you'd get at Ulta.
Yeah.
How much is that? $200?
Yep.
This is not $200.
No.
Everybody who's bad at life, Sam, the answer is right in front of them. It was like, do this, you idiot, and they can't do it. That's the problem. It's right there.
Can't be done.
It's like, quit doing what you're doing. Do this, and they just can't.
What is that?
I haven't even played with this yet. I just grabbed it because I wanted to see it. So it looks like one of those little lipstick massagers, and it is, but it's made by Lovin's. And Lovin's is the company that got really popular with the camming community because of their remote connectivity. So it's app-enabled. So now you can get a lipstick massager that not only just works as independently, but it also can... Oh, it's working. It can work from an app. You can control it from an app.
Were they the ones that made the pink tails?
Yeah. Well, they don't. Well, they do. It was like an egg with a little. Yes. Yes.
Oh man, which app group do I put that in? Do I put that with the weather?
Yeah. I put this with. I put it with my social media.
Oh, okay.
Their tagline is "Sex Tech for Everyone," and so you're really looking about $100. But their technology, I just have to say, is really one of the best in the industry.
It also doesn't look like a massager. It looks exactly like lipstick.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I like what it's hidden, like the
Guys don't
Barbasol
have that,
can.
though. Like I'm not walking around the streets of Orlando with like a pocket pea in my pocket. I think girls got it better. Like, you guys can, like, put stuff in your purse.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a pervert if I have a fleshlight in my backpack, but you are too big.
Well, like, we have to, like, our toys
If
are
I
too
have an
big.
auto blow in my Toomey as we're going to record at Take America, then you're like, what's that in your bag, Dad? And I'm like, that's my auto blow. Like, if a girl, it's just it looks like a lipstick.
Yeah. So speaking of auto blows and all of those things, I did bring something. You know, the rose. It's been such a I brought one in, the rose, sucking rose for
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's really marketed to more of the female crowd. Well, they came out with what is called a male rose. So people with
this is the Pete Rose.
It is the
got
Pete
a bowl
Rose.
haircut and it bets on baseball.
Yeah. And I gotta say that.
Oh,
wow.
Yes,
What is that?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Yes.
It rotates, it vibrates.
That's Christmas right there, buddy. That is the New Year. That is everything.
And it kind of is. It's kind of cute. There, it's got like it looks like a little mouth on the end.
Oh my God! Wow! Wowie wooey!
Oh my God. I'm curious.
I'm going to use this as a tank today.
So it is a let's just say an oral simulator. How about that?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if that's doing the same thing I'm used to.
But it does look fun, you know. Like,
That looks like
it looks like a good time.
Yeah.
360. Okay. Yep.
Okay,
Hold
I
that
got
button.
it.
You
Yeah.
got it.
I got it.
There you go. Oh
Look,
yeah.
Can you hear it yelling at you?
Where were you? that is, I don't know if anything, like,
Oh,
Little lube and you're
it
good to
can go super fast.
that's,
Oh, you can go different directions.
okay. I'm more of a counterclockwise.
Really? I'm a clockwise man myself.
okay,
Yeah. Which way do you dress? That is.
So-
how much is that guy? That's
You know what? I have to
amazing.
look because I can't remember.
Oh, that is amazing. That is
It
fantastic.
apparently is free since I took the wrap
That
off. I don't
is
know.
fantastic.
It's worth the money for
Yeah, whatever
a
it
lot
is.
of-
Priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless.
They took the outer wrap, which had the price
Oh,
on
it's
it.
all good.
But
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just got this
It's
clear
brand new.
one in.
It's brand
So,
new.
yeah, absolutely brand new. Tons of them on the shelf. I think that it's going to be a huge hit at Valentine's Day. So,
I mean,
check it out.
That's also something, and this is a thing where the lady will use that as a form of foreplay, and you know.
If you leave that here, Deborah, it'll sit here, and then me and Dan will every single day
Hate each other. Secretly hate each other.
But
Like,
we'll
who's
look-
going to take it?
yeah, because we know if one of us notices the other person took it, we're going to start making fun of them.
But we'll
And-
also be jealous.
Yeah, we'll be jealous, but that's why we lash out by exposing
It'll be
them
a
on the show.
resentment battle where
Yeah.
I'm mad that you took it, so that I
You try to
insinuate
embarrass
that
me.
you're a bad person for doing that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, no.
he was.
Yeah, I wanted
me the whole time. Should have been me the whole time.
Yep, there you go. And don't forget, too, for little add-ons, you get a piece of lingerie, you get a toy. We have the X-rated, I don't think there's anything I can't show. The X-rated Valentine hearts. They're the conversation
little
hearts.
candies?
Oh,
yeah, but
yeah.
these have a little more,
Yeah, it's
the
a
nice
butt.
Did they say butt?
It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I won't repeat
Is my
anything
wife in the
that's
chat
on
room? Have
She
you seen-
was,
She
yeah.
was in there? Okay, I'm going to say something that was going to save it for the Friday Free Show, but I might as well bring it up while you're here. Okay. You know I bought my daughter a 3D printer. I used the 3D printer to print a pair of sex dice.
Oh, right. That's pretty great.
And my wife and I used, and she played along, and she used the dice, and she rolled on, spicier one, and we did it.
Yay!
Yeah, we did it.
With the dice?
We did it with the dice, and I made the dice
love
myself.
dice.
And then she made me burn them. She made me like burn
Melt
them.
'em.
I had to melt them and throw them in a trash can.
Well, we have tons of dice.
Melt each side so you can't read it.
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't written. It was positions. It was like little stick figures. Like it was like the handicapped
that's
guy in a
awesome.
wheelchair, but it was like different like positions, like doggy, and then like do this and sit on that. And,
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
well,
but-
if you can't afford or you don't have a 3D printer, we have tons of dice
yeah,
and
make
games.
it easy on yourself. It took me
The
9 hours to
checks,
print those.
the little checks that you can use. But don't forget we have the candies. We still have the little dog bones, but with hearts added into it. Yes,
I
the
got an
heart
upgrade.
on.
Your boys love these. It's their favorite candy.
Cute little heart whips and crops, and this is like a little mini one. It's so cute, and it's by Rouge, which is a wonderful little fetish company.
You ever No,
never did.
All right. Me neither.
Okay.
I might dabble in that this year.
I know I think I've showed these probably before, but we have tons of heart-shaped little booty plugs, and this one happens to be glass, so you can do some temperature play. So you get
it in the microwave, put that thing in there for 4 minutes. Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
Let's refrain.
Don't do that.
Every time I see,
there's got to be people that do that, right? There's got to be people that are
yeah.
As much as we tell them,
see how I can do it.
Every time I see one of those, like because I can't see very well, and I have my glasses off, I'm like, what is that?
What is that?
And
a bookmark.
If you're not in a relationship currently, don't forget that we have lots of things. Come treat yourself. I've got a freshly single candle.
There you go.
But lots and lots
if
of stuff.
If I were single, I'd buy that candle and I'd buy that little sleevey thing that we had, the mouth thing. And I'd say, peace. I'd be like, I'm going to order Outback to go and we're going to roll. Let's do it.
And, we have new toys all the time. I haven't really brought a lot in lately, but, if you want to get something a little more advanced or just, again, treat yourself, lots of great colors, lots of good styles. The companies that we love, New Sensual, they've just come out with a new line, warming toys, really affordable.
Warming toys, that's a new thing.
Oh, lots of products coming out now.
Is that the trend now? Is warming toys?
Yeah, definitely warming toys. This is just a dual stimulator.
Every morning I get out, I go to the bathroom, and I put my back against the toilet seat, and it hurts. It's so cold.
I just started the warming process on that product, but it's nice. I mean, this is under $75 for this rechargeable dual stem all silicone product by New Sensual, and it's warranted.
Things heats up faster in my crock pot.
So, you could do that with a garment and make an amazing gift presentation, and you're under $100 or right at it. So,
not bad at all.
Not bad.
You could even if you're going $150, throwing a body stocking and
some lube, and you're good.
Yeah, and then you're still under $150 by a lot. You're at like $127.
Yeah. And don't forget, too, that, we have new location now, too, in Sanford. And what's really great about that boutique store is they have some a little bit different variety in their selection. So, definitely visit all of our locations. And, we're about to start a grand opening. I'm so excited. So we'll be sharing that stuff with you so you can share it with everyone.
Perfect.
Let us know, please.
Yeah, that's off Reinhardt Road in Sanford. And, of course, the OBT Fairvilla Megastore.
The big boy.
The location in Secrets Hideaway in Kissimmee, over on the coast, location International Drive, Key West. Just go to fairvilla.com.
Everything
that will do it.
And don't forget to sign up. I saw something come through on my email or maybe on YouTube about something you guys are doing.
A new class,
yes.
Yeah, we've got a new educator, and she's awesome, and we're so happy to have add some other folks to the team and some new classes. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, check the website for classes, for videos, whatever they're doing. They'll be sure to let you know. Deborah, always a pleasure seeing you. Thanks for coming in today. That was super fun.
Thanks so much. We'll be right back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and we are not live, on location at the brand new location of our good friends, Tank America.
Yes, right by the studio, too. We could have
walked here.
We could have walked here. We could have walked here.
It is crazy close.
It is, and it's a brand new, beautiful location, and we're just happy to be here. And dare I say, I believe there are more tanks out here than I remember.
Yes. So we're here with John from Tank America. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you guys back again.
Well, thanks for having us.
So you're at a new location. We're just let everybody know where you guys at. Right near Forsyth. Colonial's right there. Give the...
it's just off Forsyth.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, we're in Orlando now. We've moved from the Melbourne location over to this location here in Orlando, which, like you said, is right off of Colonial and Forsyth.
I didn't know there was this much open land around.
This is
I thought everything was paved.
I mean, this looks perfect. You have like a little barracks set up, and this actually I would have never guessed, but dare I say this is a better location than what I mean. I thought, but what you had before was nice and super great, but this looks like it was made for tanks.
So I've noticed there's more tanks. So let's talk about that. How do you go about purchasing more tanks for Tank America?
Well, it's always fun. First of all, you got to know the right people to purchase tanks. A couple of them we got over in England, but most of them we got here in the United States. So if you recall, all of our vehicles are British vehicles. It's real difficult to get American armor as a civilian. And basically, if they're already in the United States, it's not too much more difficult than purchasing a car.
Do you have to, there's a local county government or what's going on? Tanks? When
I would think they would think tank and go immediately red flag. I don't know. I don't know about the tank.
They're like, we've seen the video of that crazy old man. They had to shoot into the top of the tank.
Well, I can't even have chickens in Orlando proper, but you have tanks somehow. So,
well, thanks for bringing this up and highlighting it. I'm sure we get a call.
No, it's just outside the zone. It's fine.
The beautiful thing about that is we can't cut this out and make it one large beep tone.
The good news is, the county is aware. We've got through planning and zoning approval, and luckily everybody's good with everything. We do have the kill switch on the tank, so if you guys or anybody else has any ambitions of going wild with one of the tanks today, one of the instructors that are with you will shut it down.
There you go. I would like to also remind you guys that we are standing not in just a field of tanks. This is a theme park, sir. This is a novelty entertainment, right? Isn't that what it was last time? I remember seeing on the back it just said amusement. I'm like, hey, this is amusement.
So we're standing next to a tank right now. Explain what type of tank this is again, John.
So this is an FV-433 Abbott.
We have more tanks right now than Ukraine does. That's true.
I see the TikTok videos.
We've got a total of 9 of them all together. We've got a 105 millimeter cannon on these, and they're weighing in at about 17 tons.
Oh. So, I know we, from the last time we went to Tank America, their old location, we rode around in a tank. We're going to do that today. We brought our good friend, comedian David Jolly with us.
Yeah, I think he's texting his last will and testament over there.
He said these white people are crazy.
What do you think so far, David?
It's pretty sweet.
All right. He's a little nervous. Yeah.
So, with this
As we pulled in, David's van started pouring oil and smoke. Pouring oil and smoke all over your parking lot, so I figured we'll run his van over with the tank.
I was like, Jolly, your van is smoking.
And he's like,
what? He's like, smoking.
My van quit smoking.
And then we opened up the hood.
To be fair, he was smoking inside.
And then he looks at smoke billing out, and he's like, oh, that's fine, it's just the oil.
He's like, it's the oil. I got oil.
And I'm like, I think that's the worst case scenario. If it's just
when you go to the doctor, they're like, no problem, it's your heart.
So John, this tank will go how fast now?
So top speed on them is about 35 miles per hour.
Dang.
That's too fast for a tank for me. I mean, that sounds like it would be a rough ride.
It's going to feel even faster when you're driving. However, we probably are going to get it up to full speed out there today.
Now, I've noticed some other guests, they're riding around in a tank, and there's some people in the hatch and some people riding on top of the tank. Is that standard for Tank America?
It is. So we can accommodate one driver and up to 3 passengers at a time on the tank. So the passenger compartments are what you're seeing up there in the turret section, as well as we've got a jump seat right behind the driver that the passengers can ride along as well. That way everybody can do it as a group together, have fun, laugh about who almost hit a tree and so forth.
All right. And the actual course, because I remember the old course, there's a mud hole, there's a lot of obstacles. Tell us about
There was
this
also
new
a
one.
lake that you almost put us into.
That wasn't supposed to be part of it.
It was the first thing that they said when we walked in. They were like, oh, here they are. The people that almost put us in the lake.
I often think to myself, this is no big deal. I'm sure lots of people do this, and it comes to find out, not that many people almost put the tank in the lake.
No one's ever done that
Most
before.
people see the lake and stop.
And they remember things like that. And bring it up
it's
years
crazy that
later.
they would remember that. I know.
So how big is this course, and are there similar obstacles as the other one?
So the trail in total is a little over a half a mile. We have some of the same obstacles like the mud hole from the other facility, but you're going to see we've got some other hills. We've got some ditches out there, trenches, a bunch of awesome stuff that you guys are going to drive through today.
All right. Okay. I feel like we should take a quick break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll be on the tank. Now, we don't know who's going to drive yet. The first time we did this, I drove, so I feel like I should let someone else drive.
Well, I drove once as well. I did one loop around, and then I did one run through the mud hole.
Yeah.
But the only 2 people that haven't driven are Samantha and Jolly. Now, I don't want to put Sam on the spot, but I do want to say that as I sit right now, one of the audio-only videos we have on YouTube that has the most amount of downloads is the Samantha torture special.
That is true.
You're right.
I'm just pointing it out.
I did think as we were driving over here,
You were the brainchild behind the torture special,
we
right?
haven't tortured Samantha this whole year yet.
It's only been
12 days.
I know, so it's perfect. Sam, and I know Jolly can't wait to drive the tank, and we'll
He
have
said, I'm pretty psyched.
But Sam, how do you feel about it?
About letting Jolly drive?
No,
but you drive.
See, I feel like, what are you most paranoid about? Yourself driving the tank and somehow crashing it or being trapped?
I think she trusts herself.
Or
No, I don't.
okay,
No.
All right.
I think they both.
And I also don't want to mess up their equipment, so I'm going to leave it
Well,
to
it's a pretty
somebody else.
hardy. It's a pretty hardy piece
Yeah,
of
I'll
equipment.
find a way.
Okay,
I'll find
all
a way.
right. Okay,
Yeah. Like you could shoot guns at this thing. Like a bullet isn't piercing.
Bounce right off.
Okay. So I feel like Sam.
Oh,
could
Jolly
do
got
it.
excited again. He's excited about that.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll figure that out once we take a break, come back, and we'll be live in the tank.
Live in a tank.
All
We'll
right.
be right back.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
We're back, and
Sam's driving.
no, they filled it full of concrete.
Sam's driving the tank right now. She is miserable.
Yeah, she is so miserable. She does not want to drive the tank. Sam hates driving it. She's driving the whole man. She's driving the tank now. Jolly's screaming at her. Oh, we're going over the first hill.
Now we're about to go over a hill.
We're going over the first hill, and I'm standing. You're sitting. We're in the back of the tank.
Oh, she's going over the first hill.
was good. Oh my God!
I got, like, only my head is. If we flip this over, I'd be crushed by.
I would be able to duck down because I'm so small. We're We're coming around the first lap of the course. Sam is again driving. She's miserable. We're gonna go over two tanks. We're gonna go over two tractor tires now. Now Jolly's just screaming into the microphone.
Oh, she's going over the tractor
tires. She got him good.
All right.
Oh my God!
All right.
So what if she's pretending that she's running us over?
So, Jolly, don't curse. This is going to be on the radio.
No, you're good. It's fine.
That's all right. Sam's going to edit it.
I love that Jolly just keeps yelling. G. Bookers.
What about G. Willikers?
G. Willikers is fine. We're going into a tiny mud hole.
How do you feel, Jolly? This is pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
We are,
This tank always works when I play my G.I. Joe game.
yeah.
Oh, there's a guy shooting at us. We're taking fire now.
So, we're going through the combat zone right now. Me and Daniel are basically through the portholes on the top of the tank.
You can have 3 passengers. So
This tank is pretty sweet.
Okay.
But if this candy would have worked, oh man, you could have added another $100 to that tank.
Yeah. I don't know if they allow you to
They
shoot
don't allow that. Supposedly, and the last time we were out here, they
Probably just an insurance. You know, that big.
oh God,
It's the general. That's all you need.
that would make sense. I think they fill the actual cannons with concrete, so to prove to the government that they're unfireable.
Yeah.
So we're going around the first.
Sam's doing pretty damn good.
She's doing better than I did.
Yeah. I mean, she is.
She's really good at this.
Yeah, she's maneuvering this tank great. So. I knew Sam could do it.
She's like a natural. It's almost like she was in the military or something.
Yeah. I think women are better
At most
tank
things.
girls.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool course,
Yeah.
so I like it.
See, when I was driving the tank last time, I didn't pay attention to the instruction. I'm
Yeah.
just willy-nilly. I
Nothing.
know how to do it. Oh, you got
I would like to point out that we told Jolly he couldn't curse anymore.
Is that why they don't let us near the water because you almost flipped over there?
I'm not sure.
We told Jolly he couldn't curse, so now he just turns to us and says the course is sweet. 500 times.
Joe Jolly. Well, don't fall off.
Oh, no, you're supposed to stay down. Yeah.
Because Sam will crush you to death.
Then it'll be like the Jeremy Renner. It'll be a snowplow accident. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
I don't have insurance.
you are Orlando's Jeremy Renner.
No, I don't have insurance.
So this is a bigger mud hole right here. Does Sam know this course?
She's driving it like an ace.
Oh, there's another tank in front of us.
Oh my God! I'm a little worried. Oh my God! Good Lord! Oh, that one got me.
I hurt myself.
I think I broke my hip.
I got a stinger.
Are you bleeding?
I did not hold on through that. And I rammed my back into this steel tank.
Oh my God. Oh, we got another one.
There's a fire hose. Okay, this seems like.
Okay,
I'm getting ready to tuck under in case we roll.
This one's gonna get you.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're up a giant hill.
Oh my Jesus!
All right. We did it.
That's definitely a little more aggressive than the other course.
Yeah, it is. Although I at this point I trust Sam with my life because
that was amazing. She did a damn fine job. Oh God!
Oh, it's a transmission.
Yeah, half a pound of ground round, please. That's what my dad used to yell when my mom was.
All right, here we go. Please don't make me regret bringing Jolly up this thing.
Oh my God! Not as smooth as Sam.
Don't run over the stairs, Jolly. All right. Jolly's making his way through the beginning of the course now. We're going past the junkyard cars that you can...
Oh, I thought we were just going past Jolly's van. It looks like a field of vans.
I'm not joking. That van is newer than Jolly's.
What did you guys do today? We went to Take America and we bought a van.
Through the mini mud hole.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same... Like, when Sam would hit these, Sam would hit them with speed.
Yeah. Well, I think
Sam's a legitimate tank captain.
Well, I think she's more worried when someone else is in charge. When she's in charge, she knows.
It's fine. You're right. You're right. That's exactly it.
Here we go.
All right, last obstacle.
Oh, no, we're off the side. Off the side. I'm getting all ready to go. Oh, man.
I guess it is.
I got legitimately scared for Sam's life.
Yeah, if we were going to flip, that was going to be the one. I guess these things are engineered to stay where they're at.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're at the stop sign.
Can he stop it at the stop sign? Yeah. Oh, he slid. He slid it. All right.
But in neutral.
Well, I guess the next time you talk to us, we'll be back on the ground.
All right. That was good. We got to talk to Jolly, Sam about their experience. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. So, Sam.
Yes.
That's exhilarating.
You did perfect.
You were impressed, right?
You were better than the two of us when we drove.
I agree.
I have to. No, I just have to say you did better. You were smooth, and every turn was. Mine were like I was still like grandma parking at an Aldi.
I had a good instructor.
Yeah, you did great, man.
He was coaching me.
Jolly, not bad, not bad.
A little more reckless.
You were a little in your head, a little screaming, a lot of screaming.
Yeah. Jolly, how'd you like that?
That was pretty sweet, man. That was real nice. You know, I would tell anybody to come hang out here.
I know. Like once people do it, you're kind of like, yeah, well, that's something I should have.
No.
No.
Drinking
Okay.
and
All right.
driving
We'll
is
get
like
right back to
that.
Sam. All right. Yeah. He's high. You're high right now, right? Yeah. Once you get off of there, you got like adrenaline pumping.
That gas, man.
Okay. The diesel.
Diesel fumes.
So, John, me and Daniel did when we were going around the course, and Sam and Jolly were driving. You do have a lot more, I feel like, obstacles in this.
It's themed out more. It's good.
It's very themed,
It looks great.
yeah.
So the last hill, I did make a joke with Daniel. I was like, if the tank rolls over, we got to duck down into the.
He told me that.
And
I was up thinking about that.
Wait, did you think I was going to tip this
Well,
thing?
I did.
We did. We did think you were going to tip that.
You're jolly, but
Little jerky jolly.
Jerky jolly.
It's so heavy. They don't take a lot to flip something like that, right, John?
It would take a lot to flip it. It definitely wouldn't be good if it ever flipped. We've never had that happen, but it would take a lot to.
Yeah, I feel like they're literally engineered over 100 years of tank engineering or whatever to like not roll over, because once they roll over, there's no coming back from it. You need another tank to pull it. I don't know.
Well, luckily he's got 9. You know, so, if you need a couple, just hook up a couple of them, I guess. Have you ever tried to see? Do you have a special tank that's the best tank? Do you have like one tank that you're like, this has got the best parts, it's the newest? Do you have a favorite tank?
I would say
Prometheus?
This one over here, or the one that you guys drove, would be our favorites. That was the first one we ever got. I think the one you guys were driving is the fastest one that we've got out there.
Yeah, that goes.
So I didn't tell you that up front, but yes, that was probably the fastest one.
It's zippier than before. In fact, Tom and I were getting whacked around in the back a little bit back there, and that's a spicier ride. This is a good course, man.
Well, and it also depends on your driver too. They must not have been that concerned
Jolly,
with you guys back there.
spicy. Sam, though, believe it or not, Sam was super smooth.
Yeah, smooth sailing.
So, John, people can opt and pay for. There's a bunch of different packages at TankAmerica.com, including the Tom and Dan package.
Yep.
But you could upgrade and pay to crush a car, because we noticed that and we did this last time, that there are cars that you could pay to crush. If someone wanted to bring their own car that they own to crush, have you ever done that for people?
So I've gotten that asked a number of times. It's not something we normally do, just because we do have them all drained of fluids, batteries removed.
There's a process.
Yeah, and I got to make sure that you actually own it.
There
Don't
can't
bring
be
your
like
ex-wife's
your wife's
car.
in the trunk.
The good point with the actual, like, there can't be a quarter tank of gas in there. You're crushing it, spraying gas, one spark, you're lighting it up.
Liability.
Like all these cars, they've been prepped.
Jolly would like
crush.
to weigh in and say that, but it would be pretty sweet.
Well,
let me just say that the two things that you've wanted to add to Take America are shots and blowing up cars.
Well,
two things that are not legal.
because we did notice a van that was in better shape than
Yeah, there's
Jolly's
a nice van over there waiting to be crushed. If we could just swap that with Jolly's van, we'll get right out of your hair.
We might be able to work out a deal.
Your van work better than my van?
It might. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it does. So, John, thanks so much for letting
thank
us
you
come out
guys.
here and
Appreciate
drive.
it. It's good seeing you guys
Absolutely
again.
great seeing you guys, like always.
This is
and,
the other location was great, but man, this is top tier better. This is awesome.
And again, ask for the Tom and Dan special. We kind of promote that internally. It's not on their website just because it's special for our listeners, and you will get a discount. So it's a great experience. And
bring grandma out here.
You only have to be a certain height to drive. At an age of 12 and up is
16 and up to drive. Passengers just need to be 55 inches or taller. Any age,
great.
just 55 inches or taller. And just give us a call and let us know that you want to book the Tom and Dan package.
Awesome. Well, it's been awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And if we ever have something to crush, I talked to John. I was like, John's like, just give me a call. We'll crush.
I've always wanted to crush a wedding dress, but on a mannequin that looks exactly like the woman who wore it originally. Because there's nothing more. Because that is such a. It's very significant to murder almost.
I wonder if you get the car crush package and then you put some sort of blue or pink dust in there.
Oh, you mean like a gender reveal?
Gender reveal.
Gender reveal.
I bet someone's gonna do some gender reveal, or you put some balloons in there and you crush a car and release
then the balloons. Yeah, no, but then they don't want the balloons. The pelican eats it. No, you can't do any of that.
All right, TankAmerica.com. Give them a call.
Should have ended when we wanted to. That whole little. We went off script. We started doing. We do the gender reveal.
Someone's gonna do it.
Did you say general reveal?
Sell that package too right now.
So what is that? I don't know what that means.
Bithlow. They like to do gender reveals.
All right, we're going to get out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. No, Sam. She is celebrating her anniversary, and I do not know what number it is. Is it like 16, 15?
I mean, it's got to be...
it's up there.
Yeah. They've been with each other.
That's what I mean.
Since high school.
That's what I mean.
I
think married, it's like 15 years. No, they haven't been married 15. They've been married like 7.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, but happy anniversary, Sam. We hope that you and your
hubby... Why'd you even bring it up? So we act like we don't know what the hell...
I don't know yours, and you don't know mine.
Yeah, but everybody knows that.
And I don't know our guests, and he's been married for a very long time.
I remember going to his wedding.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Jim Colbert Show, heard on Real Radio 104.1, the host, the namesake, it is our good friend, Jim Colbert.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
When did you get married, Jimmy?
Yeah. Here's the best thing. The marriage thing with you guys and me is a little bit of a sore subject. Are you aware of that?
What do you mean?
Because we drank a lot, or I did.
Well, what happened was...
Well, we started yelling at the bartender, make as many drinks as you can, because we were like, Jimmy's paying for this, and we were ordering 10 doubles.
Yeah.
He was about to leave, and he was like, I have to pack up. Like,
it was triples.
10 triples.
It was all of that. Here's how I found out about that, right? So I'm married. By the way, it's September 24th.
Congratulations.
2005 was the date of my marriage.
2005?
Yeah.
2005.
Oh, my God.
This year's 18 years, bro.
2018.
18 years. Can you believe it? That's crazy, right?
What was the big song in 05?
Oh, man. I do not know.
I'll look that up, but continue.
It's got to be Ace of Base.
Oh, yeah, I like that. No, that was 90s. It might have been Rihanna, Umbrella.
It might have been, right?
It does start fading into all of the
It's all the same.
Yeah, these decades became days.
Yeah.
Well, the wedding story is this, my sweet mother-in-law, the wife of the preacher. Agreed to
I
pay
like her a lot. She's very nice.
Agreed to pay the tab. Well, the worst human beings on planet Earth to know that the bar is open tab starts with you two fools.
Well, we didn't know.
I didn't know your mother-in-law. I thought it was your money.
Don't you dare try, and here's why.
I thought it was you.
Mother-in-law stands up and goes, okay, last call, you got about 10 minutes. So what do these turds do? They walk straight to the bar, and they order trays of drinks. You did not order drinks. You ordered trays of drinks. Do you know how much that last run cost me? That's a smooth $500.
Oh,
that last run was $500.
I wish it was more.
And we were doing
$3,800 bill.
It was like triple Sailor Jerry's.
Yeah, Sailor Jerry's.
I was like, give me the Diet Coke and a triple Sailor Jerry. Oh, that's disgusting.
It shouldn't be that much.
The maddest my wife has been that entire night. In fact, that's Sailor Jerry.
I liked when you borrowed, or was that for your
Thurston's
anniversary?
Or that was the wedding.
That was the wedding. You borrowed Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yeah, I'm not leaving in a Camry, dude.
Out of all the weddings I've ever been to, you were the only one that had
out of there.
The stereotypical cans on the back.
No, not true.
No?
I believe, and this is really sore
I've never seen the cans. I'm like, oh, old man with the cans.
I'm going to give you the super sore subject. I believe Tuttle had a horse and carriage with cans. A horse and blanking carriage this man rode through Savannah, Georgia, like a southern king.
He was like a top hat.
Like he had a top hat like a southern.
Oh. That's right. They were doing that Midnight of Garden and Evil.
Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Yeah, and then he rode out. I was eating.
That was the apex of his life.
I was literally, this is the fanciest wedding I've ever been to. I was eating shrimp and grits out of a champagne flute while he rode away in a horse and carriage.
We went on a ghost tour during like the reception.
I dipped out to smoke weed. I dipped out to smoke weed because it was the worst ghost tour.
And even then, you had to have known something was wrong. Like even in its perfection, you're like, I don't know, something ain't right.
She knew.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew at that point to enjoy the grits. Enjoy them.
Savor the grits.
Savor those grits. And you know what's hard?
Nibble on the shrimp.
It's hard to get the shrimp out of the champagne flute with the spoon. You got to have almost like a grapefruit spoon.
That's a bad design.
Yeah, beautiful though.
True story about that. That's the only thing Crystal could eat was the grits, and she had to gag them down because the shrimp was too close. Like everything else was meat, so
you can't go pescatarian for one night.
So every bite she looks like a cat throwing up a fur ball.
So she had two like margarita glasses of grits, and then she drank. Oh, we got blacked out at Tuttle's wedding. I mean, we were in our 20s.
It was also open bar.
There was a time in my life where when everybody was getting married in my 20s, every wedding I'd go to, it was an excuse to get blacked out.
Just blast it.
I mean,
you're there to celebrate, right?
Yeah. And then Crystal was fine with it. I remember it was like, all right, we're going to get blacked out. And then the next day, Crystal's mom lived in Atlanta, and her sister at the time, which was like 9 years old, she came to meet us in Savannah. No, but I'm just saying, this is how young her sister was at the time. And then
you
Crystal
were getting blasted when Alex was 9?
No, well, this is the next day. We meet him after Tuttle's wedding. She's
like a grown woman now.
Yeah, but she had her own room.
I know, nearly 30 now.
No, but I'm saying
time passes.
He's still getting blasted. Is my point.
No. So then we spent the day in Savannah, like walking around, like with Crystal's mom, and Crystal was puking in the bushes at every square we stayed in.
Midnight in the Garden of Grits
She was like,
evil.
And
that's like movie view grits, like 6 pounds of grits.
Yeah, and
she was poisoned.
And smaller grit or smaller foods will come through your nose. It's so good.
That's when you know you're really done.
You got to do the wipe, and then you got to go blow your nose, and you're blowing food out of your nose, and you're like, you look in the mirror, and you're like, you need to change your life.
I puked a piece of hot dog into my sinuses once.
Also,
so I was inhaling nitrates for like 3 weeks.
Salty in my nose.
I remember a time where you were so young you couldn't afford hotels places. So like after weddings or whatever, you're like, I guess I'll just drive home 3 hours.
After drinking straight from the keg for 40 straight minutes.
I'll give it 2 hours. Drink some water for.
I'm good. I'm just really tired.
Hour and a half. All right,
it's
go.
funny you would tell yourself, you're just like, I'm not drunk. I'm just really tired. No, you're drunk. You're absolutely drunk.
And then that whole water thing, you drink like 8 ounces of water after drinking for 6 straight hours. And you think they should do it, right? There's the Band-Aid.
So how you been, Jimmy?
I'm great, buddy. I'm doing really good. I had a great 2022.
So what are you into now? I know for a while I heard you were in a tree stand pretending to hunt.
I was into archery.
Archery.
I got a bow because I wanted to go hog hunting, but it just hasn't.
Hog hunting, that's where you go get fat girls at the bars. I've done that.
So
big fat whales, and you're like, I know you need love.
So but I haven't made that happen yet. I'm still going to do it though, but I don't have a timeline on it. I kind of put my car project on hold because again, time is just a complete murder scene. When you know, being a member of a show and hosting a show is way different. The time-consuming nature of getting a show ready, even at 3:00 in the afternoon, is the entire day. It's just so for me to
you're working too hard.
For me to even
you got to pull back, man.
Just show up and do whatever.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You're not doing the hosting. Right. The staff is supposed to do everything.
Right. Get a packet.
You're literally packet. You're supposed to roll in with your archery gear on and put it in the corner of the room, and then just do the show,
and then yell at your fat intern, "Where's the packet?"
The one thing I have allowed myself to do is I will play golf in the mornings now, and then go to work.
You don't get anxiety? I would get anxiety.
See, I don't do that. So on days like Wednesday is a day I can do that. Usually, and the reason I'm here today is because I have two features. Like Maxwell calls today, and we have Animal House. So that helps with the topic load, and then usually the topic load from the day before regarding basically if we didn't burn everything I pulled for that day, and I know it will roll over. It's not time sensitive, and then I know that the other two shows before me didn't attack it. That happened twice yesterday. Two of my big talkers yesterday were destroyed by Sean, and then one was destroyed by the monsters because they talked about it for an hour, and I can't go on the air and talk about something both shows talked about for at length time.
Oh,
so
is that man? We do that all the time.
I have to try to find
people
that niche,
listen at different times, though, right?
I know, but the thing is,
here's my perspective.
If you've heard if you've heard so many opinions about it, I just feel it's been beaten to death and trying to get new stuff. So, trying to wiggle in those lines and find something that's interesting is time consuming. But I have allowed myself to play some golf in the morning, and that's really what I'm doing more than anything right now. I'm hitting it so good right now and having so much fun because I'm playing at a high level again that it has my attention again. I quit for years. To raise kids, you can't play golf. Because it's just so. And really, I feel guilty already sometimes playing if I try to play during the weekends because my wife and I have competing schedules. We see each other for about 2.5 hours a day, and that's it. And that's probably relatively common in the American, household. But we don't have kids to do or anything like that. So, she's doing like stained glass now, and I'm doing that.
Stained glass? Oh my God, that sounds extremely difficult.
We have a stained glass studio in the house now.
Really?
Yeah. So we just turned.
That sounds great. Jesus, make me a Jesus with a boner.
We'll put a stained glass in.
I will knock these windows out and put Tori stained glass in here. I want a Jesus with a boner, and I want a SpongeBob SquarePants, and I want him smoking a bong. What do you think?
Okay, that'll be your second project.
What does she do? Does she make just?
How do you do that?
This is crazy. That's a weird job.
So
we have to talk to Tori.
Yeah. She's just beginning, but so we bought her this kit. And this kit has like this grinder and the cutter and everything like that.
That's dope.
And then we bought on Facebook Marketplace, which is the effing greatest thing ever, by the way.
Tom loves it.
I am a Facebook Marketplace junkie.
I can't do that. Too many minorities.
Okay. So I bought a draft.
You get inundated by weird names on Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah. I don't play with it that much.
A lot of Russians.
I went in and found this old drafting table. I shop local, and you can kind of tell. Just try to keep it in the Oviedo, Geneva area.
Gotcha.
And I found this drafting table we turned into her workspace because it has that rubber mat. And she's got got the soldering gun and everything. She's just now beginning to kind of put her things together. We just got the room done.
That's rad.
So she's just getting into it. So we're
What
really
a
excited
cool
about it.
hobby, man.
And oddly enough, my wife will never give herself credit for it. I've
She's
told her
artsy.
this since we're very artistic, but when you grow up in small town world, that's not really nurtured much.
Yeah, they don't respect it.
They don't respect it. If you can't run a 440,
I was lucky to have an art mom, right?
Exactly.
Like in DeLand, having a teacher mom who was a musician, kind of rare, pretty awesome for me because she liked art.
Yeah. So in the small southern towns, when you're young and you want to have something like that, it's like, you could work at Winn-Dixie, I guess. They would rather, hey,
That's
you should get a job, but art isn't really nurtured, so she didn't really ever have that part of her life really catered to. So now that we're older and we can do things like this, she's starting to kind of endeavor.
Your wife's artsy too.
Well,
she builds stuff. She didn't.
Let's
What's
talk
the
about
chandelier she built?
We
gotta get that going. She's built a butcher block table. She built a chandelier. I mean, I haven't done any of that.
When I see that, I'm like, you could do this or get to work.
Rick Scott. It's a Rick Scott.
You know, I'd rather have this shit. You know, I'd rather have than this chandelier. Somebody, maybe.
I'll have to cut that out.
Let's talk about that just briefly. Do you find yourself, Jimmy? Because I do this, where Crystal will get into something and this happened recently.
Rowing.
No.
It's not going to be that cheap.
I'm almost afraid to bring this up, but I will.
Okay,
Man,
you're not that afraid.
This guy, he rolls deadly.
I love it.
He does not care.
Get in there.
So Crystal, she has on this health kick recently.
That's
she's
good.
not drinking alcohol, and
Please don't crap on that. You have to be
fine. I'm
support
fine.
staff.
Yeah.
I'm serious on that.
And
You got to be supportive.
And so I decided I ought to cut back a little bit as well too, because whatever.
Yeah.
And
I'll
then
have a foot-long Cuban sandwich and 12 beers.
So then and this happens with other things where she gets this idea and she's like, I'm going to get into this.
Emotional people do that. We jump in hard. I'm an emotion. Me and Crystal, right there.
And then she tells me the other day, she's like, I ordered a mobile ice bathtub.
Yes.
Because I'm going to Rogan ice bathtub.
She's so Rogan.
Can I do it?
Oh,
Can I
my
do it
wife's
at your
so
house?
Rogan.
I'm going to do it so bad.
My wife's so Rogan too. She goes, he dips himself in ice for 3 minutes every day,
Yeah,
right?
but he's also a red ladybug man. Like, he is bright red.
And I'm not making fun of the ice bath thing because
That's real stuff.
I know the science behind it. I believe it, blah, blah, blah. I am making fun of the commitment it would take to get the benefit out of the ice bath because that is submerging yourself for X amount of minutes a day, every day, right?
Yeah, well, you also have to, the setup is hard. You got to buy a lot of ice.
Yeah, I was going to say $40 worth of ice every morning.
Well, you have an ice machine, right?
No, actually, McDonald's, one bag of ice is $1.
The key to my health is McDonald's ice bags.
You can buy a bag of ice from McDonald's.
I didn't know that.
$1.
Did your wife tell you that?
No,
Is that her grand
she
plan?
went on the ice bath forum.
And
or
they're like,
whatever
go
the
to
hell.
McDonald's, you piece of ass.
Which also tells me ice bath forum. You can get to work. How long did it take you to find the ice bath forum on Reddit?
Forum.
It's a Discord. They're swapping.
What do you talk about and dipping yourself in cold water?
There's different. You gotta have. Do you like a half moon ice? Do you like the crunchy ice from like Tijuana Flats? What do you like?
Every conversation is like, is it cold? Or response?
Hold
It's
on.
pretty cold.
That's got to be.
How are you? How's your ice bath?
Right,
Mine's
exactly.
cold. How's yours?
It's got to be a loss leader in McDonald's to sell a bag of ice for $1.
Oh, it's Costco chicken.
That's insane, right? And they hand it to you through the drive-thru.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
You go
that.
through the drive-thru.
You know what? That's all I'm going to start ordering at McDonald's.
That's every day. You got 2 bags of ice and you go to get
I'm not doing that.
and
Hey,
you
when we
bring
get
it to your ice bath.
I'm going to do any work. We're going to get to the drive-thru with an entire family. And they're going to be, hey, you guys, ice bag? Ice bag back there? Ice bag? We're going to need 9 ice bags.
9 bags. And pass them out. Just start eating
Think about that. You can get 9 bags of ice for
And then
$9.
just have your kids start
That's
eating out of
insane.
That'll be $9.60, sir.
What do you want on ice? I'll put anything on ice for $1. Anyway, they should tell you.
Holy Christ, that was fun.
You're so dumb. I love you.
By the way, I don't even start making fun of this because I've learned my lesson over 20 years. Because I know that this will eventually fade away to nothing, and then that ice bath, that portable ice bath,
Go in the garage.
will just be in the garage.
Yeah, marketplace tub.
Or our kids will be,
They'll be hiding it.
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's like in a
It's a cow trough, isn't it?
No. It's not one of those.
Oh,
It's
okay.
It's a cheapo thing that basically it's like a camping garbage can where all
So
it accordions up and then you fill it.
Is she gonna get in there nude? Because I would love to watch her.
It's like a little barrel, and you get in there with ice.
I'm asking a silly question. Don't you guys have a bathtub in the house?
Yes. Sorry, but
We have
she doesn't
COVID.
want-
We have COVID.
She doesn't want to waste the water. I went over this with the bathtub. We've got a bathtub that no one uses, by the way, except for the kids.
What's the difference in wasting the water in the tub?
Because the ice bath, you leave the water in there, and then you just add ice to it each time.
okay.
And you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, so
gross.
she's like, well, it's 60 gallons of water in the tub you'd have to drain out every day.
She
and
is
it's like-
big on water.
Yeah. I'm like, water?
Yeah.
The St. John's is full. We can't even take our boat out for months because we
Is
have
it
too much water here.
Isn't your
It's not-
pool pretty cold? Could you start with that?
Well, you don't get the effects unless
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
water's
gotta be-
like 40. Like
Right.
you know, the
All right,
pool's
all right,
like 58, and you need
What
to be
does
frozen.
it do for you? Because I don't even know the benefits.
It tricks your body.
I know it
into
makes your
thinking-
nipples hard. I know
Yeah.
that.
Swelling and stuff too.
Yeah, well,
Inflammation.
but
I have a
also
lot of that.
it tricks your body into thinking it's dying, and that's all. The heat will do the same thing. Like, but the heat is more expensive because you need an infrared sauna. Or you have to go pay for that. But you just have to trick your body into dying, and then your liver releases some sort of
God.
things. Yeah,
I'm finding out.
Sounds like a magic diet.
The chat room is telling me things about McDonald's I never knew. Apparently, people love the straws, and I do too because they're larger.
Yeah.
And I love an ice cold Diet Coke from McDonald's with a large straw. It is so good.
Yeah, I think they mix. I think of all
So
the restaurants,
bubbly.
they mix the sodas the best.
And
Their
they
Coke
say
is
they
the
do.
most purest.
Also,
is the purest.
I found out this too. They don't use the plastic bags for their syrup. They use the
Containers?
metal cans.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why it tastes better. But apparently, this guy's dad in our chat room loved the straws so much, he drove up there and said, "I'd like to buy some straws." And they just handed to him a box of them, 250 straws. And we're like, "Thank you." So you can get straws and ice.
You can buy
I'm just
straws.
telling you. Yeah, we're learning a lot about McDonald's today.
So the back to my point with the stained glass.
Did you get your ice bath yet? I want to do it.
No,
I want to do it so bad.
It's, like apparently it showed up the other day, and then Chris was like, "You want to do it today for the first time?"
I want to do it.
Yeah, I have a corresponding story to your ice cream story, by the way.
But
too, so.
the stained glass, you build the stained glass room, like you're supporting Tori and her new hobby, and now she's really into it, right? But with every hobby, and this goes with everything, is like you're into it.
Yeah. I'm 3D printing right now.
And next thing you know, you see some stained glass, some finished pieces,
Yeah.
and they hang them up, and
Yeah,
there's
you
like,
sell one to a Meemaw.
then life gets in the way, some things get busy, and then every day you walk by the stained glass room, you notice that there's not very much stained glass being produced lately. And then when do you mention it? Like, hey,
No, you can never can.
like there's this room being
Nope.
it's unused. The
It's
stained
an
glass.
unmentionable.
I spent a lot of money building this.
You can't say
and
a word
there's
about
no
it.
stained
Nope.
glass to be seen anywhere. Nothing. You
Can't
say
talk
nothing
about
you,
it.
you can't even say, "Hey, you're making stained dust."
No,
Oh, okay.
Making
You
stained
can't
dust?
say it
No, you can't.
because I want to so
Okay.
bad.
No.
So one of the biggest arguments that my wife and I ever got into, right, was this. So my wife has that gear, right?
Oh.
So she decided while at a Tractor Supply one day while buying dog food.
I love Tractor Supply. I love it.
You buy your dog food at Tractor Supply?
it was-
If you have a big dog, you can.
It's the closest place, and that's
Yeah.
where we got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So while in there,
That's a great. I love Tractor Supply.
the ducks were in.
What do you mean?
So the chicks, you can buy ducks and chicken chicks there for like $5.50 a piece.
In the store?
Yeah,
Oh my
in the
God!
store.
I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get ice, and then I'm gonna go to Tractor Supply and get a baby duck, and I'm gonna get 250 straws from McDonald's. And I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be fun.
So we come home with 5 ducks one day.
5.
And,
Not one baby duck.
and I remember
5.
And I remember,
Are they chicks or they're
they're
ducks?
chicks. They're chicks. They're like a little.
Okay.
They're literally 5.5 inches tall.
Is it like mini donkeys where you have to have 5?
Right, I know. You don't. Yeah,
They
but
get lonely?
Yeah, you do. You can't. It's hard. I don't think they'll sell you one. I think they'll sell you like 3.
They
and that's
sell
it.
them in a pack.
They're like, a couple of these will die.
We went for the next prime number, which was 5, right? So we buy 5 of them, and we come home, and they're in like they look like they're in like the KFC takeaway box. Is what I mean. They're
Don't
in
eat
the box,
them.
right?
Don't eat them, Jimmy. You're a good
Right.
cook.
So
I bet you could cook them up good.
So we get them in the house. I'm like, yeah. These things are going to grow.
Yeah.
And then what? Because ducks are no joke. They get big, right?
Yeah.
So we had them in the kitchen for a little while. We kind of blocked it off with
You
a doggy
had
gate.
kitchen ducks.
Yeah, we had in a little den. If you saw it, you'd know. right? And the next thing you know,
I thought you were rich.
And then next thing you know,
you moved to the country to have a dirt floor duck kitchen.
So next thing you know, the ducks start getting unmanageable in the house.
Unmanageable. They're beating you up and pushing you around.
We put them on the back porch, which is enclosed, and then they promptly turn that thing into
duck disco.
Doo-doo.
Oh, buddy, let me tell you.
Is it the white Kawaka doo-doos?
It is.
Because they got a Kawaka.
And you know what? It has an ammonia smell to it.
It does.
So every day I'd walk out on that back patio where those 5 ducks were growing and living. And
what were their names?
And have to Spot, Nene, Stripe,
Spot and Nene.
Winston Tears go woo woo.
So we had to build a duck enclosure.
A duck enclosure.
So we had an old shed that was on property when we got there. We added
old shed. Where do you live?
Are these chickens or ducks?
They're ducks, dude.
Okay.
They're straight up ducks.
Like quack quack.
So my wife gets attached to them.
Like canal garbage ducks?
Now laying egg ducks. Like they're laying eggs.
Can you
like
eat
we
a
have
duck? Yeah, I guess
Are
you
they
can eat
mallards?
So hold on.
What kind of duck?
One of them was a so they're called khaki Campbells.
Khaki Campbell. I know her.
They're called khaki Campbells. 2 or 3 of them were khaki Campbells, and we had one the white ones.
Those are called Proud Boys.
Yeah. So
2 khakis and a Proud Boy.
So these 5 ducks on a whim at Tractor Supply turned into an $1,800 enclosure.
Oh my God!
With a $250 horse trough swimming pond.
Hell
that I had to build,
needs that.
That I had to build a filter system for.
Filter.
Oh my God! Tom does the filter system on his ice
duck
bath.
won't live
Okay,
a duck won't live in a sewer.
Listen, hold on.
They'll live in a trash dump.
Here's the best part. We live on a pond.
Oh no!
That the ducks could have easily called home, and then we find out later
natural.
They would come right back into the enclosure at night, like everybody, no problems
so
whatsoever.
Pond is or the man-made pond unneeded.
Right.
Yeah. But Tori's too scared that something wild will get over here.
Right.
Oh
man,
babies.
So it turns out that Nene is the white one, the one that she absolutely loves. Is a big duck. She was very personable.
Yeah.
The duck drowns.
Oh my! Not Nene.
The duck drowns.
How does a duck drown?
Okay,
that's what they're made to do.
Did it drown in your pond? Because I'm calling Ray Trindley.
It did drown in our pond. Now,
oh my God,
here's what
that's
happened.
A murder.
The filter pumped the water out of the pond, and the duck couldn't get out of the pond.
Oh my God, you killed it with your filtration. You're a murderer.
But the other ducks were in the pond, and she'd had some problems and health problems and stuff before. We knew that something was wrong, but the other ducks had no problem getting out of the pond, even though it was low. She wound up drowning in the pond. After she drowned, no interest in the ducks.
Oh, yeah.
What about the other one?
Well, it's like when a kid dies, you just shut the door in the room and you never go back.
You seal that bitch shut, you never go back.
I agree with that.
Right,
if that happened right now,
But what about your other kids?
No, I don't have any. I shut the door and I walk into the ocean. That's what I do.
And you don't even look at that door. When you walk by that room, you turn your head away.
Wall
as
it
if
up.
it's stolen something from
Wall
you.
it up.
So anyway, this thing, so down we break the filter down, try to sell the thing,
This is a
tearing this
terribly
apart.
sad story, man.
That's not sad. I mean, the other ducks went to we gave the other ducks to what I'm going to eat by a coon.
Oh my God. Which one? Spot? You got ripped apart.
We didn't even know.
They'll rip it. They'll rip him good.
Get it, guys.
They eat them alive.
Yeah, they eat them alive. They leave them alive a little bit.
It's not good.
Because raccoons are smart. They do. It's almost like a Reservoir Dogs torture scenario.
The scene was bad. Let's just say the scene was.
Did you find it or you?
I found that one.
Did you kick some leaves on it and walk away?
No, I just said, hey, that one end's gone, and so
the other 3 went to
went to a woman in Geneva that does this. She takes animals that did. We just put up on a marketplace like, hey, I got 3 ducks.
3 ducks. 3 ducks.
And let me tell you what, she came and got them that day without any problems. So.
Oh man!
But what if she was like? What if she's driving away and she's like, "I'm gonna get you"? So,
but you know what?
Was bad.
See that?
So you have to go through life and experiences like that because she tolerates stuff like that from you.
Did you
and
tear
my
it
wife
down?
tolerates stuff like that from me. No, we didn't tear it down. We're waiting. We're going to turn it into a garden, and you have to have an enclosure out there for a garden because the deer will eat everything.
So, Jimmy, I got to ask you a question.
Sure.
That was a roller coaster of emotions.
I apologize for the emotions.
Because when we were younger, me and Daniel used to give you a lot of about how busy you were with your kids. Yeah. And we used to...
Oh, I heard the show yesterday, by the way.
We used to just be like, well, how are you that busy?
Yeah,
like, what are they doing?
They're 25 years old.
Well, not even... Well, these were younger kids. Like, when we knew you...
but they're smart.
And I would say, no, guys, I can't go out drinking on a Tuesday at 6.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I've got kid stuff. You're like, oh, you liar. You don't have kid stuff. You're making all this up.
You're like, I'm so busy. I got to do this and that. You used to describe your day, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't be that busy. Then, like now, I see. I'm like, well, with 7 and 8 year olds, they got all these activities. They got the homework. They got school and all this stuff.
Well,
and
you also sign your boys up for it. They go to everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like even Maisie's dancing every weekend.
But that's easy for me because I'm just like, go to dance. Bye.
Well, Jimmy had 4. Daniel did it right. He got 1, and his wife does all the work.
She's so independent. Well, I don't even have to do it. Like, she does a lot of her own work. You know,
that's the new thing right now. The one and done families is the new. That's the new trend.
So anyway,
make a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
I apologize for giving.
But listen,
I don't mean it.
You guys,
I'm glad I did it.
You guys, don't regret it. You guys covered something yesterday that also is true. All right, so. Now that you do know that when you have kids, you had 2, I had 4. I mean, I'm not, it's on a flex here, but it was take that, and then both people have to work twice as hard to make those things happen. And as they get to be teenagers and are really dependent on you because of the travel thing, whether it be going out to the movies at night or whatever, it even gets worse, right? So, but you guys did hit on something that was completely true. I think it was Daniel yesterday that said that people use kids as excuses to get out of stuff they don't want to do. And let me tell you, I was an absolute wizard at that. I mean, nobody used their kids to get out of stuff they didn't want to do more than I did, and I had no problems doing it at all.
I've stolen that from you. It's one of the best things you ever told me. We've even talked about it.
It's undefendable.
It's an easy thing to not hurt, especially I use it when it's like something where I don't want to hurt that person's feelings.
Right.
Because I really don't want to do it. If somebody's like, hey, my recital's coming up. I'd love for you to see me play my violin. I'm like, Maisie's got it. It's just easier. Because I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I want to support you. But I got a kid.
Right.
And you were a wizard at that. And it is a skill that I think parents need to know how to do that to not hurt your friend's feelings.
Never felt bad about it once.
So my question being is that now that your kids are grown, right,
God.
and
super, can you imagine the life I have right now?
All around the globe,
you have no idea.
Out of the house, and then success.
You did a good job. You look at it; it's got to feel good to look at them. I did it.
But then it goes back to now. There's a lot more time that you have to yourself.
They party, dude. I see.
I don't.
Tori are out. They're traveling.
I can't even comprehend what the hell.
I'll be dead. I'll never. I'm an old dad, so I'll be dead. And then I'll never get any of that because I waited too late to have my kids. I should have had them at like 13, 14.
Also, I imagine Crystal's going to do some animal hoarding. Somebody start trying to fill or void.
I'm doing that.
Definitely going to happen.
I'm doing that
dogs involved. I want all pee-pee dogs. I'm getting to an age where I want nothing but little dogs surrounding me at all times, and I want like an army of them.
Tori already told me if we were not married, she would live in a trailer with probably 6 cats, 9 dogs, and a parrot or 5.
Me too.
Yeah. So when you have that much time, what the hell do you do, Jimmy?
Well, seemingly I have time, but it's weird how that is, TC.
But now you're not back to focused on your show. It
is so crazy, when I bought my little car to start building, I'm like, oh, man, exactly. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. The kids are out. Everybody's doing good. As a father, I can go, okay, I can close that chapter of my life. And
just
now
monitor it a little bit.
Help them manage as they need mentoring or whatever. They can call me up or good. We can FaceTime, whatever the case may be.
That's a good feeling.
And I was like, man, this is awesome. So then I get the show, and I'm like, well, we'll take some time getting this thing on the road and kind of getting the ratings good because the first 2 years were really difficult. We didn't really, for some reason, it just didn't take.
Well, it's a switch.
And then all of a sudden, it just took, and we had an amazing 2022. I mean, an amazing 2022. So with that said, just now, I have allowed myself to go, okay, now you can take some time for yourself because those other goals have been achieved. And now it's just kind of establishing, maintenance on that. Are your segments fresh? Are the topics still good? Are you still delivering the same message you did before? When you are still struggling to be good at this job, because that's very important. Yeah. It's the old garage band making it on the first album and having their producer go, do me a favor. Don't go act like a rich idiot now and maintain some of that struggle because that's what made you famous to begin with. It's that whole thing. Not saying fame at that level, but it's just the idea of success.
I don't have any of that.
And that complacency,
I'm
man.
done. I look at this.
I'm closer than you want to know. I tease my guys all the time. I'm like, guys, Because Phillips did this to his crew.
I'm like, how can we phone this in?
He told them.
I love phoning it in.
We think about changing the name of the show to call it Tom and Dan. Phone it in.
Yeah, imagine if you didn't have to work, you just called and you phoned it in.
Yeah,
This is so easy.
Phillips told those guys for years before he quit. He goes, look, at any given moment, I'm telling you straight up, at any given Friday, I could walk out of this bitch and it'd be gone. And just know you need to be
told me
prepared
that
for
one day. I was talking to him. I forget what we were doing. I think we went to lunch or something, and he told me, he said, I haven't decided when I'm going to quit, but sometimes I dream of just walking out.
When he got to retirement age, when he reached, I think, 67 years old, not saying he's older than that,
right.
But when he reached that age, his attitude changed dramatically. He was just like, I've done this for a very long time, and he said the perfect thing to say to get out of this business to me. Now, he said this to me personally. I don't think he had a problem with me sharing it. He said, I just don't have anything left to say anymore.
Yeah.
What am I going to say? I've been on the air 40 years. What's left to talk about? And of course, the Trump presidency really was the nail in the coffin for him, because he just couldn't. When you think logically and you have somebody at that level that doesn't think very logically beside your party, it doesn't matter for your party. You just
water, man.
This person doesn't understand what's going on, and he's in charge, and he doesn't get it. Like, all the aides are like, this guy does not have an 8th grade grasp of American history, and that it just broke him. He could not.
He would rail. Yeah, he was mad.
I say broke him. I shouldn't say that, because he was a legend going out. But you
heard it here first. Trump broke Jim Phillips and made him quit. That's what Jimmy said. Jim Colbert said that.
But it damn sure didn't help.
Wait till you find out about the duck murder. Oh my God!
It made it so tough to be, to be diverse, because you have such strong feelings about something like that. You can't fight.
So if other people even support that, you're just like, I can't do that at all.
I get it. I mean, you get caught up in that trap very easily.
And when you're older, I think you don't want to mess with that anymore.
You don't. And he still writes the Sentinel about stuff all the time.
Yeah.
If you go in there, the op-ed guys, he's always writing letters to the Sentinel. And many people have talked to me and trying to talk him into a podcast. He won't even hear it.
Yeah. So we did too.
We talked to him a while ago, and I think I'm okay sharing this too. But I talked to him. He actually ended up. I gave him a list of equipment that he purchased.
Oh yeah, really?
And he has all the gear, and I think he just boxed it up and put it away.
Yeah. Now
I returned it because he was just like, I thought about it, and I'm just like, same thing you said. I think I'm done saying things.
Yeah.
I'd talk him out of it now. Like, good luck competing against every single person.
Well, I think he could get an audience. His name, people still text the show about him every single day. He's only been off the air for 3 years, and people still remember that. So
he'd get an audience. It's just, what does an audience mean nowadays? It's so different. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's changed so much since the past 20 years.
Hey, did you guys have a good 2022?
I mean, ours is always like a constant grind of,
I never look at anything as being good. My back's all screwed up, so I'm an angry boy.
Our accountants will give us an end of the year thing, but it's really just can we continue to maintain a healthy business and have goals to grow to and accomplish things like the Airbnb. We accomplished that, and we
Very cool,
did a full year.
Super jealous.
Pain in the ass.
Doing, And
everything is, right? That's why I think that,
there's nothing.
From our perspective, a lot of what I look at is just like, we did it. Like a lot of that. I don't really look at it and be like, that was a good year.
It is the perception of people in this, for people in this business is that it is automatic, and then there's no. It is. It couldn't be farther from that, but
it is. Yeah, and it's just the constant grind. The one positive that we have is at least it's like as we're grinding it out and looking and things get more stable the more you do it. So you've owned a small business before, it's like the longer you do it,
it's got to be easier doing the show now for you because how many years? 8? 7 now?
For my own show since 18. So 5. This is 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
I always that's how bad I am. After COVID, it does seem longer. It seems like you've had the show for 7 or 8 years.
It's weird though, because from our perspective, it's still relatively new to us.
Absolutely.
It took us 2 years just to find a groove where we all kind of felt that we knew how to kind of fall in order when talking on the air and not talking over everybody. That's I used to say that on the Monsters all the time. I'm like, nobody's hearing these jokes, because everybody's so excited to get in there and try to say something that there's no order, and and it wouldn't happen all the time, but it would happen a lot if there was a hot moment, and we're trying to just cater to those times where everybody can get their joke in or their comment in, and it's clean. And we just think that that's a better sounding product.
I would agree with that. We're a mess. We just yell over each other, screaming and yelling at each other. We invite Jolly on here. He's screaming.
Oh, yeah. He's the greatest.
He's driving a tank. He's cursing.
Well, I want to tell you, if you want to hear the worst two guys at podcasting, if you ever want to feel good about yourself in any way, shape, or form, listen to Fly on the Wall with David Spade and Dana Carvey.
Oh, really?
Their podcast is as bad as it gets. But listen, the great thing about it being horrible is they get the best I'm an SNL goon, but they get the best guests from SNL. You know, Kevin Nealon, Lorne Michaels, and they ask them about like behind the scenes stuff, which I absolutely love. But they're so unbelievably bad at it; it's laughable. And they just did a Q&A thing with Jimmy Kimmel hosting it about the show the first year, and the entire thing was about how bad they are at it. Like they make fun of themselves about being bad at it,
and
that's good though.
Yeah,
I like that.
At least it's different.
Yeah,
I guess
it's different.
But
they're
their names. But that's what I didn't see, Jimmy. Like back when we even saw like podcasts being a thing.
This bothers you too.
Is that
impulsive?
Well, that's a different story.
But still, the delivery.
That's young people doing it.
I mean, Jimmy. That's what Jimmy's talking about. They're like his show. I'm sure he wants him and Ross and Deb and Jack all firing in logical places where nobody is just like mushing and then talking over each other. You want it smooth.
I want it to sound like you're reading a perfectly written script. That's the sound to me. Like everybody's in tune, like an old radio thing where everybody just kind of has their place. And although things are off the top of your head, it's not scripted per se. That everything falls into order, and it's way more difficult than people give it credit.
That's old school too.
Yeah, it is super old.
And that takes a tremendous amount of reps too.
And I hear these podcasts today, and I can't listen to them because they have you guys are easy to listen to comparatively because so many other podcasts, it's either one or the other. It's so corporate that it's like, and John then parked the boat. Here's Chrissy to tell you about what kind of car John drives.
Yeah,
those things, right? It's kind of weird,
NPR style.
But then you get the real raw ones where it's like you 5 dudes with a mic in a room and they're all hammering beers and they think it's funny, and you're like, oh man, this is unlistenable at all levels.
No one's trying to keep any sort of topics going.
That's kind of how we started, really.
But we have the talk
structure.
Radio background helps a lot.
The chops.
Has some structure. I don't know.
I didn't see a lot of these celebrities doing these podcasts for no monetary reason and just for hobbies and like just to do them
for their own ego or something.
Because a lot of celebrities now are doing podcasts. I mean, some of them obviously will help them with promotion and marketing, but for the most part, it's really but it's so easy to do that they'll do them for free, and then that creates. Right. I mean, it's another distraction if you're in a world of audio entertainment. It's like, well, now there's that to choose from.
Competition. Real quick, and I can ask this because you guys, how are we on time, by the way? Are we getting close?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us.
So,
whenever you
got to leave, just walk out like Jim Phillips.
I'll just ask you because I don't know this. So, at one point, are there podcast groups that own different podcasts? Like, could there be a Tom and Dan podcast corp that has Tom and Dan as a show, like my show is a show? Let's just go for example, like Sean's show for a show, Sam's show for a show, and that would be like a podcast network. And you got
there's networks. There's tons of networks. In fact,
we've been approached by a bunch of them.
Yeah, and the business model behind that is
Podcast One.
What they realize is there's like you need a sales staff. So all the companies that had giant sales staffs, like radio stations, and there's a sales staff.
Well, and Westwood One just made a podcast department.
iHeart as well.
Podcast
iHeart's
One,
doing this.
iHeart podcast. I mean,
they already have the infrastructure of a sales staff, and so most of the independent podcasts, they have good content, and they're good at creating content. Horrible at marketing or sales. They don't have a sales staff to go out there and sell and add commercials to their show. So then the network will say, "Hey, join our network," and then we'll give you 60-70% of the sales revenue.
Lipson does that.
Co-op ads.
We'll take 30 and then go there. Or the new thing is, if you have a big enough audience, a marketing agency will come and just buy all your content and then give you a monthly guarantee.
We have some friends that
they'll give you like, hey, $65,000.
Big deal. They made a big deal.
We'll give you $65,000 a month for all your advertising rights.
We'll just control all of it,
and then so you just do the shows, and then we'll insert the commercials, and not only will
you have approval, but
we'll insert different commercials based on the IP address that's downloading.
We'll geofence it.
And the thing is, like, after I heard, you're right there with iHeart, it's weird because could you guys sell the content to multiple podcast partners?
Probably not based on the contract that if we could write it into the contract somehow.
Right. So, in other words, if a guy like Rogan goes to Spotify and he sells his, he goes, hey, he is solely on Spotify and that's it. So they're paying for the exclusivity.
Yes,
for sure.
And a lot of places want that.
And
it still shows, though.
And then to the Rogan thing, the podcast company can say, well, Colgate is one of our big sponsors, or Tide, or whatever the case may be. So, regardless if you like Tide or not, regardless of you're getting this. This is happening in your time slot.
Yeah.
Well, unless you said I didn't want to do that, and they were like, okay, we'll swap it for Man Great.
I mean, they're like Buffalo Trace whiskey is so
Harry's, whatever.
Sure. Just like a radio station. I mean, there are. It's exactly funny, Jimmy, because even YouTube's content providers,
they're just radio.
They're doing the boxing. They're doing the same '90s stuff that the radio did.
Put your hand on the car. TikTok. The person that leaves their hand on the car the longest gets the Lamborghini. I'm like, oh my god, this is '89.
They've got a cast of R words eating garbage or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They got a whole bunch of creature people acting stupid.
There's some creature people acting stupid. There's some boxing involved. There's some man on the street.
Spin this wheel and I'll shave your eyebrows off for $1,000. It's like,
put your hand
happening?
Put your hand on the RV. Last person. It's all because guess what? There's not that much to do. So of course it's going to be recycled. There isn't. How much more entertainment? There's only 25 different things you could do.
And then topically, you get bludgeoned with the news. I mean, there's no way to escape it, right? So I even feel bad about pulling stories from the news to talk about sometimes because I would rather talk about life instances. But you know what? Life instances don't happen on your schedule. Right. These things happen to you, and you talk about when that happens, but that doesn't happen every day. So you have to supplement that kind of content, and again, people just with your phones now. You get bludgeoned with the news. You're constantly reminded of the Idaho murders. You're constantly reminded of, finding a Speaker of the House. You're constantly reminded of these things. So to talk about it, I think is a giant turnoff. So you're trying to find nooks and crannies in there to find like interesting human-related items that you can kind of get to that are interesting. And the duck den is one of them and stuff like that.
Well, before we go, because I know you got to get out of here.
I do. I've got a very important lunch, people.
I like that. Not really. We eat lunch here every single day, and it's sad. In silence, I eat a bowl of chili every day.
Do you find yourself, because we do more and more, where we realize, we're talking to a specific audience that was there the whole time, that is our audience, and we do not have to make it broad enough to encompass, younger people. There are no 20-year-olds. I mean, there are some anomalies, but the 20-year-olds aren't listening to our show, right? Our age guys and girls are listening to our show, and because we're talking about our lives, so they relate to that because they're around our age. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what's their perspective? What do they think about this?
To try to act younger or talk about younger subjects or whatever, to somehow capture a younger audience, seems to me a waste of your time because now you're alienating your base, which is your age. Because then they're going to be like, why are you saying
I am gender fluid.
Okay, good.
That happened in 2022.
Good for you, buddy.
I'm just saying we put that just little subtle things you throw out there to pull younger people in.
Okay, good. You're gender fluid. Yeah. So interestingly, that only arises when I write trivia. I don't really think about that context-wise when I'm doing the show for topics.
Give us a question.
No. Oh. So when I'm writing trivia, I'm rolling through birthdays or whatever, trying to find something because my trivia is on this day. On this day in history, this happened, and I'll kind of come off that and do something like the other day it was National Polar Bear Day or whatever. So you're like, here's 3 fun facts about polar bears and 1 lie. Find the lie, and we'll give you a prize or whatever. And I find myself tuning into things that I knew as a kid, like birthdays. Emmitt Smith's birthday today. He's a real interesting guy. And then you're like, no 30-year-old listening to my show, we have him, knows who the F. Emmitt Smith is.
Do. QC Kinetics ads. He's on there.
But the thing is that's the thing is will these people know people that I looked at and wow, that's really cool. It's that guy's birthday because they were a big, but a quarter of my audience has no idea. So I find myself kind of finding that balance of, somebody in your age group or maybe a little bit younger or a little bit older, some athletes, but not all athletes because who cares about cricket? or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
half the world cares about cricket.
But right.
That's the weird
But now
thing.
you're
That's
listeners.
my audience. Like if you look at India, which is about to surpass China, they are some cricket MFers. They love it.
Even the soccer thing, and you guys went through this, even the soccer thing, because that's a limited audience.
We lied about that. That was all a lie. We never liked it. We did that because we got to do what we got to do. I put the purple on. I'm like, I'm out of radio. We got to do what we got to do.
I won't call it football.
Yeah, I'll never
That's not my football.
It's not my football.
Oh, God.
Not my football. I like a Jerry Glanville leaving tickets for Elvis. If you're not cheating, you're not playing.
It's good seeing you guys, man.
Jimmy, it was great seeing you too.
man.
Are you able to do the golf thing next week? Possibly?
I think we already talked about it.
Okay. All right, cool,
that's
what I want to get down
your
to.
cheeks.
I want to get down to the golf.
This is a real businessman, right? You just slapped your cheeks.
Tell me about this. Tell me about this golf thing, because is there a challenge thing happening?
No. I just want you to meet.
He's going to suck you out there to do a challenge.
No, I just want to meet at Drive Shack, and then
he's playing some of the best golf of his life right now.
I want to talk golf, and then I want to watch you hit some balls, and then I want you to give me some pointers when I hit some balls.
Seriously, what was because you and I have talked about this in private, about his real love. I'm being serious now. About his real love for golf. And you and I have shared some like real talk where you were like, this is the thing I love. You love it. It's in your heart. It's in your body. It's a thing that you are super passionate about. And remember, I told you, it crushed me that you put it aside.
Oh, I quit.
Because he has real talent.
I told Ross.
It makes me sad. And now you're back?
I told Ross twice I said, because Ross was like, I quit. Because Ross is he's
a great golfer.
He's a real good player.
You guys together could just shred.
With that said, he told me yesterday, he goes, I quit. I said, buddy, listen, I could go back and archive monsters where I've come on the air, like, I quit this game, I can't take it anymore, it's too much. So now I figured a couple things out in my swing that really I should have paid attention to about 20 years ago.
Crazy.
And playing to about a 3 handicap now, which means I average shooting anywhere from 73 to 76.
Wow, that's great.
On good golf courses.
I don't even have that on the video game. Like, I don't even have that on when I play the Tiger Woods has a new golf game. I think I sent you a screenshot of it.
You did.
I don't even have that on the computer.
I play 60 in golf courses from 6,600 yards to 68. Now the tour plays like 7,400 yards. I'm not going to be hitting 3 irons in the greens all day long. So I play the senior tour. What the senior tour would be playing. And one of my aspirations is to at least try to qualify for a senior amateur event.
Can we sponsor you back? Can we sponsor you? Can we pay you?
An FSGA event where I qualify and play like a mid-am tournament or maybe a senior tournament.
Can we buy you some John Daly pants that have Tom and Dan logos on them?
Because the thing is what's unique about my game is this. Even though I'm 55, I still hit the ball pretty darn far for an older guy. So I can move it. I can still hit it.
Been able to hit it.
I can still hit it 285, 290 when I catch one. So
most guys can't do that.
I can take that 6,600 yard golf course and turn it into a golf course that I can really be aggressive with scoring irons. Basically, it's just how I putt is how my game. So I've got a lot of work to do. It's a hard thing to do, to commit a lot of time.
You got to do it, man.
All right, well,
got to be out there 3 or 4 days a week.
Let's talk about it next Wednesday.
Yeah,
because I want to go through all the different golf things. So, Jimmy, thanks so much.
Thanks for being here, man.
The Jim Colbert Show, you can listen to it Monday through Friday, of course, on Rural Radio 104.1.
Please give the team some love from us.
3 to 7.
We haven't seen them in a minute.
Yeah, JimColbertLive.com for all the stuff we have online.
Are you still on Twitch and YouTube?
We do just YouTube now.
Okay,
we dropped Twitch because we had some problems with the feed, and we found that having multiple feeds. We also dropped Facebook as well, so now it's just YouTube.
Okay, there you go. Cool. Find him on the YouTubes.
Word.
All right, bye-bye.
It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
No, Sam. She is. Happy anniversary, Sam. That's what she's doing. Anniversary celebration. Let's plug some stuff and get to our guest.
Science on Tap is on Saturday, January 21st. Get your tickets at tomandan.com or osc.org. It's a beer fest. It's all the proceeds go to benefit the Orlando Science Center.
They released a few more VIP tickets. I don't know if they're still there, but last time I talked to Jeff, they are still there. So go and check, see if you can snag those. You get a full pour a little bit early.
Where you can hang out with all of us.
Yep, we'll all be out there.
Yeah, Sam's going to be out there, me and Daniel. So that's Science on Tap. That's Saturday. Then the next day is Sofas and Suds. It's the Sanford Sofa races.
You are so good at saying that. You've just gotten that's reps, man. You've gotten so good at that.
Daniel and I host that. It's a free event. It's downtown Sanford. It's right there. I think our listeners know on the L of 2nd Street in Palmetto right right there.
Indeed. Our team, captained by Seth Petrozelli, will be out there. Team Tom and Dan.
I got to text him to make sure he's unreliable. Yeah.
He's all over the place. Is he freaking out?
He's freaking. He's always freaking out.
He got a new? What's he got? He got the new strand?
I don't know.
What's he got?
So that's on Sunday. Races start at 2.
Yep.
And then the Solar Bears game, January 26th, and then Florida Smash Beer Fest, all to benefit A Spoonful of Hope. That's hosted by Hourglass Brewing.
We love Hourglass, man, and they make great beers and have 2 wonderful locations you can check out.
Yeah, that's January 28th, and you can get your tickets, hourglassbrewing.com. Check them out. With us on Zoom, he's going to be at theorlandoimprov.com.
I think he added a show. Yeah, I think there's like 3 shows now. One on Friday. I believe that one is at 7:30. And then on Saturday, you have a 7 and a 9:30 show. And we've talked to him before. He is the grand disruptor that we know of. It is Michael Rappaport. What's up, man?
Thanks for having me. It's actually 4 shows. It's 2 shows Friday and 2 shows on Saturday.
Oh!
At the Improv in Orlando.
I'm so sorry,
excited
man.
to be. No worries. I'm excited to be coming back to the club. I'm excited to be coming back to the city. And I'm appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Oh, man, anytime.
So, Michael, real quick, I saw the story about you getting banned from Knicks games, and and people could follow your Instagram and social media and hear your feelings.
It's almost
about it.
a must follow if you want a little spiciness in your life.
When did you find out that happened, and how ridiculous is it that the owner banned you just for being outspoken against
technically, really for just being you?
Yeah.
Well, I preface everything regarding the Knicks and my alleged ban and alleged situation with anything to do with the Knicks, allegedly. I think it's ridiculous. There's a whole article in the New York Times about facial recognition situations going on at the Garden. I'm a fan. I've been a fan. But, the Knicks and allegedly they had gotten rid of Marv Albert, the great Marv Albert, who was a ball boy for the New York Knicks when he was a kid at the old Garden. So if they're going to get rid of Marv Albert for, politically correctly criticizing the team, they'll do it to anybody. Dolan needs to sell the team. He's a loser. His music sucks. And, and the New York and the Knicks deserve an owner who has more respect for the fact that he has been given the world's most famous arena. And no matter what the Knicks do, whether we win a championship or not, when that day comes, when we do win a championship, James Dolan will be booed if he is still the owner of the Knicks. He will be booed no matter what. On our greatest day as Knicks fans, we will never forget and we will always boo him.
I was listening to you say that on your stream, which, again, I'd urge everybody to check out while you're buying tickets to the show in Orlando. But is it a badge of honor in some way? Because you are allegedly Code 5 highest level. You are the guy. You're the worst of the worst, apparently, right? Is that the way? And then Spike Lee is a Code 2. Is that right?
Allegedly,
yeah. Allegedly,
yes. I'm a Code 5, and it is a badge of honor in a way because I think it's so ridiculous that that fans, outside of myself, I know I have a platform, and I know I have, the things I've said, but for regular fans, to be. Told to leave when they say something to him. He's a joke. He doesn't relate to New York. He doesn't relate to New York because I don't think he's ever picked up a basketball in his life. His blues band is a joke. And like I said, the Knicks deserve a better owner. We deserve a better owner. The franchise has suffered for years.
Yeah.
And it's from the head down.
Yeah. Michael, I have to ask you because we all watch you on social media and we see you in our favorite shows like Only Murders.
Yeah,
in the
well
building.
done, man. That was great.
Thank you.
In even Amy Schumer's show. And so you've been acting, I think last October was your 30th year anniversary since your first acting role.
I still remember him as Remy.
And
back in the day, going to the dollar theater to see that film, man.
But you pop up everywhere, and I'm curious if how your schedule is. It really do you have your schedule laid out for essentially months at a time? Is it really, or do you kind of improv a lot of this stuff where it's I'm going to put this out on social media, then I'm going to do this interview because you're on Howard all the time.
How do you have time to write songs about Gary Dell'Abate?
What is it?
Sometimes I feel like I'm very busy, and sometimes I feel like I have nothing going on in my life. As far as social media, that's all fun, and it's very therapeutic, and it's kind of like a comedic visual diary for me. And then working as an actor, I take all the opportunities when I can. I love what I've been able to do. I want to continue to do more. And, I'm a regular dude, I'm just a regular dude. I try to always present myself as that. I try not to present myself as anything bigger or more special or more dynamic than anybody else. And, for better or for worse, that's how people see me. The social media stuff and the Stern Show stuff to me is all performance art. It's all performance art. There's always a level of especially the Stern Show stuff, but there's always a level of performance, and there's always a level of wink wink, no matter what I'm talking about, whether it's sports, whether it's my just general frustration with the world, politics. I always try to find a way to poke fun of myself to let people know that I don't take myself that seriously when it comes to anything that I do regarding anything performance based. I like to have a good time. I'm fortunate to be doing this long. I'm fortunate to be coming back to Orlando to do more shows. I really, at this age to be doing this, for so many years, I really am appreciative of all the opportunities, to be honest with you.
Well, there's a level, though, when I watch you, for instance, there's a video, and I showed it to Tom this morning, of you just sort of pontificating about, I believe, a homeless man that may have had some mental issues who was pooping into a bucket in NYC. And it's just something like that. It's one of my favorite videos. I have it saved on my phone to kind of cheer me up when I'm having a day, right? So I think about it, and it's but you always sort of seem, like you just said, for good or bad, you are you. And there are a lot of people, and I'll even say myself included sometimes, where we second guess ourselves, or we're worried about somebody striking out on social media, or even in the public, just saying something to us. How have you always been sort of confident? Have you always been able to do you as you the way that we know you? Or was that something you had to learn, or something you had to work your way through as when you were younger? I think we lost him.
Oh,
he went to answer and then he froze.
Oh,
man.
He was riding an Uber. That's
and that's okay.
Oh, there you're back.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, crap.
No, we got you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I've always been comfortable with my opinions. I've always, had a mouth. I've always had a sense of humor. And, social media, just sort of let me sort of articulate it more. As I've gotten, a little bit older, and the different opportunities, going on the sports shows and the Stern Show, I just, just to have more fun with the opportunities to banter, have more fun with the opportunities to promote things. I try not to, be actory. I've actors, a lot of times we are very sort of, we keep everything close to the vest. I think a lot of actors, still, pray and hope that they have the mystique of Robert De Niro and Marlon Brando and Al Pacino, but it's a different time. And I think, in order to promote a project or to promote yourself or to promote, a charity or whatever you're doing, you have to be a little bit more transparent with fans. And my version of the screaming and the yelling is me being transparent. I as much as I share, I keep the majority of my personal life to myself, but I feel like it's a good, I feel like I think I put out a lot, and I think that, I could keep, some things quiet.
Yeah, it's a nice balance too. It just comes off good, man. Like when I see you, even if it's something I don't agree with, it seems like it's you, and there's a lot to that when you're being authentic.
Michael,
I try to be myself.
I got a sports question for you because I'm curious. So you're a big Giants fan.
They're going to beat the Eagles.
I saw you on Skip Bayless's show, correctly predict.
People love Skip Bayless. Wow, he is loved.
The Giants upset. And then they're playing the Eagles. The spread's Giants plus 7.5 currently. I'm curious of your opinion. And then the second part of that question is,
because he's got to get soon.
Yeah, what do you think? Like the coach, like Brian Daboll, obviously is a great coach, and he's changed the Giants and
completely.
Daniel Jones looks completely different than he did last year. People were like ready to throw. Like he's not an NFL quarterback, and this year he's
180.
Looks like he's going to get a contract extension and actually get paid. But so first, your prediction on this weekend's playoff game, and then second, how much do you really believe the coach makes a difference when it comes to the NFL?
Well, I think it's going to be a good game. Obviously we got beaten by them a few weeks ago, but that was then. This is now. I think Jalen Hurts is still hurt.
Yeah,
I don't wish injury on any athlete, whether I'm playing against him or not. But unfortunately, I feel like that injury is going to restrict him. Giants, who are peaking at the right time, winning this game 26-24. Dable, he's a championship coach, from what he did in New England.
Yep.
He brought along Josh Allen for his years in Buffalo. And, I really think he's changed the temperature, infused confidence in the New York Giants. Just from the beginning of the season, where we started to where we are now, we've improved. And, listen, I'd be ridiculous if I said that I think it's going to be an easy game. I think it's going to be a tough, hard-fought game, but I feel like the Giants can win this game. And I got the Giants 26-24 beating the spread and beating the Eagles.
There you go.
And I just love Dable, the way he's, from that first win, the way he we relate to that. Any city will relate to that. But New Yorkers relate to somebody that, sort of shows excitement for wins and, gives high fives to fans and stuff like that and walks off the field like that. We like that.
Some bravado.
Like
somebody that has
any city would love that. You want the coach to be emotionally involved, and he's emotionally involved.
Yeah. And Michael, I don't know if you agree with us, but me and Daniel, we like a big fat coach.
I like a big fat coach.
I don't like a fit,
skinny,
or like a muscular coach.
I like a big fat walrus.
That's what it should. Yeah. I don't like the new breed of fit, skinny coaches. I like a big Dable.
I like the whale.
No, I'm with it too. I like it too. You want them to be able to move around, but I don't mind my coaches, 15, 20 pounds overweight. And to be able, smoking a cigar. And, he likes a Philly cheesesteak when he's going to Philly to beat the Eagles.
There we go.
100%.
There we go. We know you got to get out of here. 4 shows in Orlando. Buy those tickets, theimprovorlando.com. Michael, thank you so much, man. We appreciate the Uber time.
Well, this was an awesome interview, and I appreciate you guys having me. And like I said, I'm excited to be back in Orlando. I'm excited for a great weekend of NFL football. And, it's a great time of the year. We got the NFL. We got the NBA kicking into gear.
Yeah.
And, we got 4 great shows in Orlando this weekend. So I'm happy to be here, and I appreciate you guys having me.
No problem. Last thing, does your Uber driver it's Michael Rappaport, and then now you're doing an interview? Like, how does that work?
Not this gentleman. Not this gentleman. He doesn't know, but that's fine. This gentleman has no idea. He probably thinks I'm talking to my cousin. That's all good.
Okay.
Take it easy,
my cousin's in Orlando. My cousin's in Florida.
All right. God bless, man. We'll see you soon. See ya.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
Later.
Yeah, no problem.
That is Michael Rappaport live from the Uber. I like it when we get to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be uncensored, except for only one curse word. It was
I
you.
know. We'll cut it out and put it on ACT.
Because that was going to be an uncensored interview, but I think he just ran that like radio, which is fine. It's
fine. Well, he's a pro.
He's fun.
But yeah, I'd love to sit down and talk to him longer about
like in here.
Yeah.
Because he has so many stories.
But again, it's surprising to me that he even takes the time to even do
he's
hits.
one of those guys.
Old school. Yeah.
He's a...
Because
like
he's
a
got
list of people that still do that here. Like Bob Saget used to do that.
Yeah, it's old school. Yeah.
He doesn't really do it anymore, but I bet you he would. Kevin Hart used to do that, whether he needed it or not. He'd just show up, you know?
Yeah. It's like he's got such a big following on his own podcast that honestly he just can promote it with his own podcast. And you could geofence through your own podcast downloads. Like anybody who downloads it from Central Florida, it could play like, hey, I'll be in Orlando. I don't know if it gets that detailed, but you could do that.
I need a new podcast to listen to. And before we had him on, like we always try to do research. And I got to tell you, I'm going to give you a massive high five. We both did a lot of research in different areas. We tried to go to things that we like. You're going to do a little sports and gambling. I'm going to dig into a little bit of maybe how does he have confidence, the emotional side of things, the poop in the bucket stuff, right? So we're digging through there. We're trying to find our stuff. Got another one. He said it again. This has been an awesome interview. We got a run now. I think that's 7 in a row. And I like that. I love it. It's almost like a game now when the person we're interviewing is like, hey, I had a lot of fun. That was cool. I don't think they say that to everybody. I've listened to interviews. Oh, no, we missed one.
What?
Moon Hooch. I don't think they had fun.
Well, they're younger.
Okay.
We need people.
Does that break our streak? That breaks our streak. So we're back on a new streak. This is our new streak, starting with Michael Rappaport. Moving forward, this is one.
Well, the younger, the celebrities coming up and performers in their early 20s, they want us to be slouching down and not care.
Did you see he had his hat off? This is how much of a pro he was. You'll see in the video. You can go to youtube.com and just search Tom and Dan Live or Twitch Tom and Dan Live. At the end, he put his hat on because he's so smart and does so many films, radio, and TV that he knows that the brim of his hat will disguise his face and mess up the phone camera. He's a pro. Left his hat off. Even though his hair didn't look nice, he had his hat off. Pro.
It's interesting, he's talking about performance art, and even when he's doing
he goes hard
parody songs against Gary Del Bate. So he understands, that's the radio. They're all in on it. They're messing around. But
I used to call into SBK's show drunk. That was kind of like I used to love to call into SBK's show drunk.
But so the stuff he's doing on social media and the rants and stuff, it's funny how regular media, and it's all fake anyway. Even regular media, they're just reporting on this and trying to make a story out of it to get clicks, right? Sure. That's how it works. Yeah. But he's just extending that performance art to regular media, and then whether or not how much he truly believes, or is passionate about what he's saying, he's performing it. And maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but it's a performance. And then when it's on social media, people take it as, oh, this is really him 100% believing that. And it's no, it could just be him talking ass and being this character and saying and ranting.
It's no different than a wrestling promo, right?
Yeah, or
wrestling promo.
If you're known for rants, right? Say Corolla or whatever, you do rants and you get good at it, right?
Lewis Black,
improvisational rants, and then you're doing these rants, and
you're pretty good at it.
And then when you're done with it, you may not even remember what the hell you even said, right? And you just go on with your life, and then people are like, "Oh, he said this,"
and get him,
But then I guess if you never look at it and you know it's all BS, then it's all or nothing, right? And that has to be how he lives his life because he's constantly in controversies and fights with people online.
And if I could go back and ask him again, I would have probably addended my question to him, and I would have said something more along the lines of, when you're dealing with people and when you're navigating your rant and we're navigating your own opinion, right?
Yeah.
And if somebody comes at you with an opposing opinion and then it starts to get a little nasty, right? How do you disconnect from that in order to not let it poison your mood? Because I can't do that. I am, as much as you say you are incapable of noticing things and then commenting on them or something like that, being like that. I cannot, if something gets at me and changes my emotional mood, it takes an army to push it back. Good. It's I can poison it easily, man. One drop of food coloring in a glass, and then I'm ruined.
Yeah.
And Andrea sees it and she hates it. And I hate it.
Yeah, it's just you're wired to be that. And some people, I don't think I would ever bring emotion in anything because I'm not emotional.
That's not you.
So now I'll get angry if someone's trying to fight me on something or arguing with me about something that I believe it the other way.
You're passionate about.
But then I won't if I know it's a thing, right? So let's say and this is what he's doing with like Gary Del Monte or whatever. But like let's say me and Tuttle are yelling at each other or whatever. After we're done with it, it's a nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
I got you.
And he knows it too, right? And then, but the problem is some people aren't wired that way, like you are, and then you'll take it personally, right? And then it'll actually affect you.
Yeah.
And then you'll,
but I mean, like,
emotionally,
he's going real hard. Like the chat room is mentioning like the Kevin Durant text messages, like the fight he had with Portnoy from, Barstool Sports.
Yeah,
These are gritty, nasty lawsuit, Twitter, DM, slimy, grimy, like digging up dirt.
Yeah.
And that is just not a lane I function well in,
Yeah, you have to be, I guess, made to be okay with that stuff or it not bother you because there's no way you'd be doing that over and over if it bothered you. It would take time off your life. It wouldn't be worth it. I mean, he doesn't need to do that. He really doesn't need to do anything. He's had such a great career. He doesn't hurt for money. Yeah. But he's just continuing to do it.
He looks happy,
But
he looked good, right? The chat room was even commenting. Somebody said, I don't know if it's the light, but they're like, he looks really good. Was he like 56 years old or something? He looks good.
Yeah. I think he's in his 60s.
Is he?
61?
He looks really good, dude.
Maybe not. I don't want to say that.
He looks good.
Yeah. No,
I mean, like, and on a stupid iPhone, like, damn, you look good, son.
But speaking of, I read some of that Barstool Sports
it's
fight
gross.
It's
bad. Real bad. Herpes and all. It all is bad.
Well, it became a war.
It was a war.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Which
I've had elements of that in my life in radio because radio was a dirtier. There was a time. It's not that way now, at least not in Orlando. But there was a time when it was just grosser.
Yeah,
and you would do, and it was.
But a lot of it was planned. So then, even now that I'm thinking about it, even though I think it actually got to a real judge making a determination, I don't think it would get that far if it was all like kind of performance art, and then they realized. I think this was real, but when you get into those high publicity wars, you could make an argument that it brings attention to both people. And whether it's good or bad, like I said, there's an old school mentality that any publicity is good publicity, that getting your name out there or at least having a bunch of stories everywhere about you is going to affect your career in some way. And I don't think as long as you're not a big corporation, you can't really negatively affect your career that much, I guess. Maybe it could. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to
It's probably case by case, and it really depends on what you're talking about at that point.
Yeah. But that whole thing, there's money involved in lawsuits and stuff like that. That's one thing that we've never, that would stress me out. But you get used to it.
Like here, thinking about the Barstool thing. I remember like when the one deposition I had to do for the radio station. Oh my God, dude! When I think back to that, it makes my skin crawl. Like that was a really, really scary.
But it had nothing to do with you.
It didn't, but it didn't matter.